Welcome to the world of Q&A, sir. Episode... What episode is it? It's like 48? 47 or 48, maybe 49. One of those episodes. It's going to be brilliant. Welcome, everybody. You may have been here on this very channel just a couple of hours ago watching the MetaQuest VR gaming showcase of Destiny with me. That was fun. Now we've got Q&A, sir. Normal show. It's not all going to be VR. Don't panic. Ricardo, Jordan, I'm so sorry about yesterday. I don't know why I'm sorry. It's your fault. But I appreciated that message that you were looking forward to it all the same. Tom, welcome. Peter, Replicants here. It's the usual crowd. It's brilliant. Welcome. To Q&A, sir. You know how the show works. We're going to run through some games and stuff. So I hope you've been thinking about the games that you've been playing, because I want to hear from you rather than just me whittering on about what I've been playing. We're going to talk about various bits of news. There's a few things that have gone by this week. We've got a background that'll be really easy to identify if you're a cool person, and really difficult to identify if you're not cool. For once, you know the background. I thought you might. We've got a really quite difficult OST to go with it, though, to accompany it. So good luck with the OST. What's the face, Isla? What does that one mean? You have trouble recognizing things. No, you get a pass. You're fine. I mean, I'm surprised you don't recognize it. Proves that. No, it doesn't prove anything. It's a crying face. But there's no reason for the crying. That's why I don't understand that particular choice of face. You'll get it if you think about it. I'm sure you will. Look closely. Sauron Grant. Painful discourse. I mean, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news if you didn't recognize this particular background, but phenomenal game. Exactly, Isla. You do know what it is. Before we get into the show, though, let's have a word from our sponsor. Really quick word from our sponsor. It's Game On Daily. Don't look, because I've been busy and it's really out of date. Brilliant website. Loads of stuff going on. Ashes to Ashes. Welcome. Background is familiar. Good. If you are one of the people that finds this really easy and you want to leave it hanging in the air, I know who you are. I know the people that know what it is. So relax, let it sit and chat. You can all have points for having the points, for knowing what it is. Yes, I'm on Top Chat. Thank you. Well done for claiming all of those points. I'm now off of Top Chat. And we can get on with the show. I haven't had my dinner yet. I've been very busy today, so let's make it like a 10-minute show. It's not going to be a 10-minute show. There's stuff going on. There is stuff going on. So what have we all been playing? Painful Discourse. I was deliberately not acknowledging because people might gloss over it and then they can carry on guessing. Ashes to Ashes. You're getting Lost Planet vibes, but it's been way too long. Wow. That was unexpected. Am I re-losing my voice? I never really got my voice back entirely. Does it sound terrible? Are we having a bad time? Tom, you were despondent yesterday. I hope whatever it is like better. Yeah, yes I do. Because you finished Scars Above here about 5 minutes before the stream. It's a great sci-fi game with some cool ideas. What kind of game is it? What genre of game does Scars Above fit into? I have played, so once again this week, all of my playing has been streamed, which means some of you already know everything that I've been playing. Ashes to Ashes. You get like as many points as I can possibly award, because I did not think anybody would be getting close to the OST today. I really didn't. Nothing about the music for me has that particular vibe about it. I couldn't remember the OST at all. I just thought, hey, that was a high budget game. I'll have a crack at the OST for that and see what it's like. And turns out I figured, hey, that fits the background okay. Yeah, let's just go with it. No one's going to guess that. I was wrong. More yourself tonight. Things are settling down. Cooking yourself something nice. Good. You loved the Lost Planet series, so it was good fun. Yeah, I can't even remember what platform I played that on. Was that the first Xbox? I can't remember how old it is. The only problem with the Lost Planet, at least the first one, was it was like arbitrarily restricted on how high you could look. So you had like a limited window of camera movement. But apart from that, Mechs in the snow shooting aliens. What more could you ask for? A remake, that's what you could ask for. Sound Grant, you've not played much. Your grandson made you buy Modern Warfare 2, so you played a few times with him so he could chat to you as he embarrassed you. I can't Modern Warfare, so you probably did better than I would have done. Replicant, the soundtrack, I mean, we haven't had the numbered game, but we've got the series, so you're pretty much there. You're pretty much there on it. And yes, I'm way surprised. Ashes to Ashes, you're banned for being too good at the OST game. You're not banned. You're very welcome, like, well done though. I don't even know how you picked up the vibe from it. But it's done. It's there. Space Denizen, welcome. Space Denizen, you're a VR head. Did you watch the Meta VR gaming showcase? Well, obviously, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But just a quick one, if you've watched it, if you enjoyed it, if you saw anything brilliant. And for the sake of keeping on track, what have you been playing? Jordan plays like a million games. In the time that I get like 2 hours of the Ascent in, Jordan gets several 40-hour completions. And I don't really understand how that works because I've seen him go outside as well. You love some of the VR games shown. Good. See, Ashes to Ashes has like quite broad taste in technology because you'll go from streaming platforms, which is like I would consider a fairly low bar in terms of fidelity, all the way up to like getting excited about VR games, which is like as hardcore as you can get, really. So you're all over the place, and I like that. That's cool. You liked Lost Planet 2. It was this weird co-op game. Like I said, the three games blend to me. I can barely remember which is which, except I think the first one had a multiplayer mode, grappling hooks, that was a little underwhelming. Your main game this week was finishing Forspoken. Yeah, I almost started Forspoken yesterday. And then I thought, can I juggle that many games? Can I juggle Cyberpunk and Warcraft and The Ascent and add Forspoken to the pile? I reckon I can handle adding Forspoken to the pile, but then I remembered Street Fighter 6 and Diablo 4 are also jumping on the pile. It got a little bit overwhelming, so I didn't start Forspoken yet. I am going to stream it. I'm going to force that voice acting onto... Well, I can't really force you to come and watch, but I'm going to try. This song specifically is from 3. Yes, Ashes to Ashes, you have nailed it. Lost Planet 3 is the OST of the day. With Firefly vibes. Yeah, I can catch that. The Ascent is such a great game, you had fun. Decado, I haven't finished it, and I don't know what inspired me to go and play it the other day, but it is still... It's a good game. Made by just like 12.5 people. I say 12.5 people because their marketing material said 12, but they also upped to 13 right before release. I think they credit 13 people for it in the end. And yeah, it looks great. Like, amount of environmental detail, style, and all the rest of it. Fantastic work. You're still playing the DLC here. I've got that DLC installed. I don't know what it entails really. I know they introduced melee weapons to the game, but I don't know what they've added in terms of content. I'm just following markers and shooting everything that I can along the way, which is sometimes all you need. Jordan, you wanted to like the Ascent at launch, but it was riddled with bugs. So I found at launch the crossplay in particular introduced a lot of bugs. I was playing it cross-platform between PC and Xbox, and yes, it was all over the place playing it like that. I had one occasion the entire world disappeared. I couldn't see anything. I had a black screen, but I could hear everything. I knew where I was and where the shooting was just by audio alone, but nothing was visible. And people falling through maps and getting completely different experiences to each other. Exactly, Geordie. Welcome. Welcome. What have you been playing? You review things, so you might have been playing some stuff that's not out yet as well. Peter, you've not had much time on games this week, but still working through Planet of Lana and liking it enough to carry on. Doesn't always happen. How many hours are you into this 4-hour game? Because it was like 8 hours last time we spoke. I think everyone's a game abandoner these days. It's really hard not to be because there's just so much to play. Space Denizen, you've been playing Breaches. Oh, I really need to get into Breaches, but I'm waiting until I get my new treadmill. that should be responsive, and it's still going to be a disadvantage to be running instead of using an analog stick, but it should be snappy enough to have some fun. And Doom 2016 in 3D? What do you mean in 3D? You mean in a VR headset but just stereoscopic through like Vortex or something like that? Deep Rock VR mod I've heard is brilliant, and Townsman, I want you to tell me about that, because I look at Townsman and it's on the PlayStation VR store. It's like, I think it's 35 quid, which puts it at the higher end of the VR games on there. And I couldn't quite recognise whether it justified 35 quid or not. Because the trailer has like, well, not the trailer, but I should just bring it up, shouldn't I? Should I bring it up? Am I thinking of the right game actually, or is Townsman an MMO with a similar name? I think Townsman is the PlayStation VR 2 one. I'm going to bring it up. There's nothing anybody can do to stop me except distract me, which is very easily done. Townsman VR. So, yeah, so it is the one I was thinking. The PlayStation VR 2 one, where everything looks fairly basic, but also like potentially there might be proper, I'm not going to say black and white, but black and white vibes in terms of the way that you can build and manage the little community. And I look at it and there's a really old PlayStation VR 1 game that I did end up getting that had similar vibes, except that was you controlled little populations across whole miniature planets. I don't know, it looks so basic. Might have depth to it, might be fun. Difficult to know. Reminds you of Peter Molyneux games of the past. Yeah, that's like the vibe that I want to get from it, but I don't know if that's my optimism, because I want, like, black and white would be great in VR, right? And this probably took some cues from it. But I don't know, can't make my mind up. There are too many games to play. Uh-oh, getting bunged up again. You're right, Eiley, you've made me ill by suggesting it. It's not your fault though. It does have cows in it. Yeah, not sure about that one. You heeded mother's call. Okay, so you reckon the 35 is a bit high for it, but pick it up on sale. Townsman is the PSVR 2 game you keep waiting on. Do you know the PSVR 2 game that I'm most curious about is the Jurassic Park game? Because it came out in a really weird, shouldn't have come out kind of manner. It was there before the PSVR headset launched. It never had a release date, and then it was suddenly on the store. But I don't think it's got any screenshots or trailers. Oh, you heeded the mother's call, you've got Diablo 4, but did you do the Xbox exploit? Replicant Bulletstorm VR coming to PlayStation VR 2 is fantastic news. I hope it's also coming to PC VR, but PC VR gets left out of these things quite often. Remind people that the Q&A is at the end of the show. You ran out of space. Yeah, so the Q&A box on YouTube, if you're new around here or you're not around very often, wait a minute, Geordie, I'll get that in a second. If you're new around here or you don't know how the show runs, there's a couple of ways that you can talk to me. There's 3 ways you can talk to me. You can chat here, nice and conversational. I can't promise that I'll get every single message because I'm dozy, but I'm trying, I'm reading, we're having a chat. You can talk to me, you can talk to each other, and that's just nice and relaxed. You can also leave, if you've got burning questions or things that you insist get addressed and they can't be missed, they're too important, they have to be talked about, or they're going to make me look stupid and you're going to have a good time trolling me, stick them in the Q&A box. At the end of the show we'll go through those one by one and address, not necessarily answer, but address every single one of them. The third one, Space Denizen, you're a hero, if that's true. The third way that you can talk to me, if you're feeling bold, if you want to announce yourself to the world with your voice or maybe even your face, you can jump on Discord. There's a little window here, you can bring up your face or your icon, you can chat for a couple of minutes to me and everybody watching, and everybody that watches after the fact. Just join the Game On Daily Discord server, have a little look at the rooms on the left. There's a whole category for Q&A, so just stick yourself in any one of the waiting rooms and I'll pull you in when I can, so you can say your piece. Nobody ever does that, but the option is still there. Space Denizen, you heard the Bulletstorm is coming to Steam. That's good, because I was watching, we will talk about some of the VR stuff that went through, but I was watching that particular trailer going, this looks fun. This reminds me of Bulletstorm. It looks fun, but it also looks crap at the same time. I hope it's not just Quest native and there is going to be like a sexy version of it. If it's coming to PlayStation VR 2, then that confirms at least one sexy version of it. If it's coming to PC VR as well, that confirms a sexy version that I can play on my treadmill. Very excited for that. Ghost Fixer, welcome. You're excited for Diablo 4 and Street Fighter 6 today as well. Is Street Fighter 6 today? Blah. Dakota, you don't have a camera and a major southern drawl. Hard part. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that I'll understand everybody's accents and all the rest of it, but you're welcome to come on and talk if you want to. And you're also welcome to not. That's fine as well. Geordie, you're waiting on Exoprimal. Did you play the beta for it? Did you enjoy that? Or are you waiting for the other modes? And as for your earlier question, would I rather have dicks for fingers or testicle toes? Definitely dicks for fingers. Because testicle toes would be a constant agony. And dicks for fingers would be a constant delight, I would assume. You could, but then every week it would just be disruptive nonsense. Disruptive nonsense is fine. You're also very welcome to come on if you want to, but you don't have to. No, Tony. No tentacles. You're hungry and you need to make lunch. That's fine, I mean, lunch was like 9 hours ago, 8 or 9 hours ago. So yeah, you're well overdue. Make yourself some lunch. Very much encourage you doing that. Make it something delicious and quick. Space Denison, you'd wash your hair every day. That's such a weird thing to say. I don't want to entertain that any further. Why quick? Quick because it's like 8 or 9 hours overdue and you need food. Doesn't have to be quick. You do whatever you want to do. It's fine. It's fine. Exoprimal was mindless fun. He was surprised that you enjoyed the healing classes in the game. I didn't like it was cool to watch, you know, lots of dinosaurs and shit, but I didn't like the game mode that was in the beta. And like we talked about it nearer the point of that beta, but I didn't like the race to get to the real mode at the end of it. It was just a bit strange. You enjoyed the beta? It felt like Overwatch but on steroids. Yeah, I think I think there's some potential for that to be a good game, but the I can't remember what the mode was called. I don't think the mode that was in the beta was the one for it. It just felt too I don't know, what's the word, like, I don't know, words are difficult. I'm drinking coffee. Sharp, you think of words. A horde mode for some pure co-op, or like the more direct competitive modes can probably work. Just like doing standard game modes with dinosaurs everywhere could be fun. I didn't enjoy the racing side of it. Apparently Valve has a new shooter coming, a new IP. Replicant, are you talking Pancake games? Valve can't make a Pancake game, can they? I know they've got Counter-Strike 2 on the go. Where are you hearing this, Replicant? I like shooting games and games from Valve, and I especially like virtual reality game. Pancake! Pancake, fuck off Valve! That's okay, they might support VR as well. Neurotransmitter caterpillar. No, don't. Nylon cucumber keyboard fur. No, that's not quite what I meant, but I'm very impressed that you managed to come up with so many words. Good job. Did I hear about the Portal 2 VR mod? Space Denizen, I did hear about the Portal 2 VR mod. It's not... It's they're modding... What is it? It's not native Portal 2 that they're modding. It's like Gary's mod or Team Fortress or something weird like that. So Portal 2 was already modded into some other framework, and then they're adding VR to that version of it. Peter, oh, it's an extra Peter. Good evening, Peter. Good evening, both Peters. You're currently waiting on the Diablo 4 early access unlock. So, still talking about games, but for now, who has taken advantage of the Xbox Diablo 4 pre-order exploit? And if you haven't, and you're interested in playing that game on Xbox, I can tell you it definitely still worked as of half an hour ago. If you don't know what that exploit is, I will tell you quite happily. Don't take my word for it if things go wrong though. If you end up getting charged and don't get your refunds and whatever, it's not my fault. So, Diablo 4. If you go onto the Xbox storefront, and buy the standard edition or pre-order the standard edition of Diablo 4, you're exploiting Microsoft's dodgy, like they've got a big hole in the way that they do this. You go and buy the standard edition of Diablo 4 for 70 quid in the UK, whatever else it might be in other countries. And then after you've bought it and purchased it, pre-ordered it or whatever, you then go back into the store for the Diablo listing. You go to the edition selection and it will give the 3 editions. It will say standard edition, you've already bought this. Deluxe edition or whatever, I can't remember the names. Premium and deluxe, whichever one's in the middle, still costs like 80 or 90 quid. And then the most expensive one, the Premium Deluxe Ultra Hyper Street Fighter turbocharged version, it says here's a special offer just for you. If you order it in the next 5 hours, you can get the Ultra Super Edition for 30 quid, which is the difference in price between the standard edition and the Super Edition anyway. So they're basically just trying to entice you to upgrade to the most expensive version. But what you can do at that point is you can take that 30 quid version, say yeah, I'm going to buy the ultimate version for 30 quid, and then you can go into the Microsoft account and say I'd like a refund on the standard edition please, and they give you that refund. They give you the 70 quid refund for the standard version and leave the Super Deluxe Ultra version, which has the early access and shitty cosmetics and battle pass stuff, and also includes the standard edition of the game. You keep that, so you've got the £100 version of Diablo 4 for 30 quid. Very nice it is. Now, there's always a chance, I mean, Microsoft must be aware that people are doing this. There's always a chance that somewhere in the run-up to launch they'll say, oh, we definitely fucked up here. And they'll just cancel it and say you have to buy it again. But I can't see the risk being any greater than that. So, try it. Take advantage. 30 quid. Well, exactly, Peter. I mean, there's a chance that they'll identify the problem and they'll like revoke access or give you a refund or whatever, but they can't do anything more severe or drastic than that because you haven't done anything that breaches their own policies. You've just found a stupid loophole in their own system. So 30 quid, you get the early access, you get the shitty battle pass, you get the shitty extra levels for the battle pass. The only downside is that everybody who buys the ultra expensive version of Diablo 4 is a data point for more expensive games. You're signaling that you're willing to pay 100 quid for games, even if you used a silly workaround and didn't pay 100 quid for the game. For me though, yep, got that. Might play it at the weekend. Not around much this weekend, so might not play much at the weekend, but yeah, add it to the stream pile. There'll be some Diablo 4. It is entirely cross-platform, so it's one of those games where I'll be playing it and you'll be very welcome to join. Am I recording this show in separate? Yes I am. Why would you like it? What would you like to do with it? Some white knight saying that it's theft. Shut the fuck up. It's not theft. You're operating within their policies as far as I'm concerned. And Diablo being 70 to 100 quid, that's theft, so that is theft. You wonder if there will be a Spiffing Brit video on what, taking advantage of the Xbox store loophole. You're going to print out every frame of the footage and make a flipbook. Yay! Okay. Ricardo, you're buying Street Fighter 6, so they bought Diablo 4, so you didn't have to worry about it on your game share. Is that a friend? Like someone in another household? I game share with my wife, which is why I got Diablo on the Xbox, so that she can play it as well. Otherwise, I probably would have got it on the PC side of things. Peter, you love this backdrop. It's very Witcher-esque, which you've been playing for the last couple of days. I actually had The Witcher as a background last week. Witcher 3 was last week's background. This week, though, different game. Tony can't game share with me, otherwise you're broke. Yeah, I'm not sure if global game sharing works anyway, does it? Oh, of course it does, because Gaz does it with Colt. But yeah, I'm afraid, Tony, my wife cooks me dinner, so she gets the game share. Sometimes I cook her dinner. Maybe I should game share with you, Tony. But yes, I've got Street Fighter 6. I also decided to treat myself to a little bit of that. Street Fighter 6, somebody mentioned during yesterday's stream that Street Fighter 6 was £36 on CD keys, which is like, as new games go, that's a fine price. So in the coming weeks, I will be playing Diablo 4 and Street Fighter 6 multiplayer modes on stream. Either an open challenge if people think they can beat me up on Street Fighter, which you definitely can, I'm going to be terrible at Street Fighter, or the more cooperative style, join me for killing demons and things in Diablo. Demons, angels, people, frogs, whatever you may need to kill. It feels like there's a knot in the muscle. Is that a real thing? Yeah, kind of. It's not, it doesn't actually literally knot, but as an expression, like a crampy lumpy ball that people would describe as a knot, yes. CD keys had every version discounted. So Peter, I had a look at CD keys version of Street Fighter because somebody mentioned that it was pretty cheap on the Xbox, but the Xbox one was only like £2 cheaper than actually buying it on the Xbox for the UK version. So I stuck with the PC version, and I will just hope that it works well. They did stop the Gold and EA Play loopholes to get cheap Game Pass, although not until 3 years of the Ultimate subscription for about 200 to 250. Yeah, but they didn't take it away from or punish the people that had used that loophole, right? Whoa, that was thick. K-Med, welcome. I like your Twitter account. You seem very well balanced and you sting at people with the console war and I enjoy it, which is good. You're here because you heard there were lots of free sex in Diablo talk as well. Wow, you missed the free sex, I'm afraid. But the Diablo talk, we're kind of, I wasn't supposed to get into that yet, but we will. We will. Where are we? Did we finish talking about games? Have I talked about all the games that I've played this week? Isla shush. Just pretend. You're humble now, just keep doing what you're doing. Jordan, look, I don't know why I said that. Can we move on? Ghost Pixie, you thought it was nice that Street Fighter 6 was the regular 60. Oh, is it 60? In that case, the Xbox One was better than I thought. I thought it was 50. No, you're talking American money. Yes, Capcom as a publisher don't typically charge those horrific prices that various others do. Neither do Bandai Namco. Those are the publishers that we like at the moment. Those are the publishers that are fair with their pricing. So, games I've played. This one in the background. You've probably seen me playing it if you were around on the channel. Brilliant, brilliant game. Its sequel, I'm very mixed on. But we'll save that for a bit later. I've played The Ascent we already talked about. I've played some Cyberpunk. Bandai Namco. No, we're not doing that either. Terrible Twitter account. I played some Cyberpunk still. I'm playing that with the full path tracing fanciness, and that's brilliant, but still buggy, but brilliant. Love it a lot. I meant to make a clip actually. If you were watching yesterday, you would have seen the car attempt to merge with the world and glitch through the wall. It's still a bit of a mess, but it's pretty and the world is impressive and it has tits tracing, as Tony says. So we haven't had much of that actually. It's been a bit of a nipple shortage. I kept promising them in the YouTube titles. Typically they've been fairly covered up. Still, that's the tease. That's what entices you to keep coming back. Can't we just enjoy something goofy? What are we enjoying? We can. We did get some scissoring. We got some accidental scissoring. Yes, we did. I was there for the murders, and the murders didn't pan out. Dialogue options were limited, and other things happened. Anyway, let's go on to the topics, shall we? Shall we start with the VR stuff or shall we start with the pancake stuff? Let's have a spot, check, vote, quick shout out. Do you want Diablo, Street Fighter or virtual reality stuff first? We're going to mix it up. We're going to start with Diablo, then we're going to do VR, then we're going to do Street Fighter. That keeps everybody stuck here, whether they like Berserker this. Jordan, I appreciate the shout for VR. Fine, you shouted twice. We'll talk about VR. You're supposed to kill the cyber psychos, not have sex with them. No, Space Denizen, and nobody said anything about... In fact, they specifically said don't kill the cyber psychos that I've been fighting. Regina's all like, oh, don't kill them. She doesn't mention sex with them, yes or no, but... Chronic, you've got the credits rolling on Zelda Breath of the Wild right now. You finally got around to finishing it. How long did it take? And I still, while I was on CD keys looking for Street Fighter and stuff like that, I did take a little glance because they recommended to me, what's it called? When I was going through the checkout for Street Fighter 6, it said, why don't you buy this obscure Micro Machines game for the PC for £1.99? So like, yeah, £1.99, okay, I'll get that. And then it said, why don't you buy this obscure The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, no, Tears of the Kingdom for like 800 quid? And I said, no thank you. But I will check to see if Breath of the Wild has a reasonable price. And it said no. On CD keys with a discount, it was like £49 or something. Bloody Nintendo. The people have spoken. Yes, you were the only person that had a strong opinion. So VR it is. Let's start off with the headset itself, because Meta have put a little trailer on the thing and I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it. Where is it? I'm going to play it with volume or without volume? We'll do volume. Quiet OST. Here is... I've not actually seen this myself. This is Meta's introduction to the Quest 3. Reimagined and redesigned from the inside out. It's slimmer, but apparently still a little bit heavier. It has lenses and straps. A cheap strap. Maximum comfort. I have seen this. Oh, I haven't seen this. Higher resolution displays, clearer and sharper visuals. VR is about to get even more real, a lot more real. You don't really need me to read it, do you? Breakthrough meta reality. No, don't care. Full color pass through. To play Demio, the Descent into Latin Madness, or whatever it is. Meet your redesigned controllers. These are very interesting. In terms of like being a little bit of a mystery at the moment. And old games are still going to look like Quest games. Get ready for the most powerful Meta Quest yet. That is the Meta Quest 3. Do we like it? Are we buying it? $500 coming this fall. Where's my OST gone? Sure. It's giving Monsters Inc. What? Shame they aren't using the Quest Pro controllers. The Quest Pro controllers you can buy standalone and they cost 300 monies. They work with the Quest 2, so they will probably work with the Quest 3 as well. I have, so you might already know, I use the Quest Pro for my like main VR headset, for PC VR, not for standalone stuff. And those controllers are wonderful. You told me that I can borrow yours, but not right now because Jack is playing it. Breath of the Wild, yes you did. But Isla, there's a fair chance that I want to not actually play on the Switch, just rip it and play it on the PC. So if I were to borrow your version of Breath of the Wild and rip it and play it on the PC, I would be unethical slimeball. I feel like you can justify playing the game on the PC legally and ethically if it's your own copy of the game. But the stealing option is a bit... No eye and face tracking like the Quest Pro. You're correct, Kmed. It doesn't mention any eye tracking or face tracking. So I really like the Quest Pro. I bought it at its more expensive launch price. My wife is very angry at me that the price came down a few months, like 2 or 3 months later. But it wasn't my fault. Quest Pro is really nice. Like, in terms of clarity and performance... As a PC VR headset, it's phenomenal. The thing that's really weak about it is the mixed reality, the color pass-through and stuff like that, which was advertised in the same way as they're advertising it for the Quest 3, but it's dog shit and useless, which is fine for me because it's not an area that I'm remotely interested in. So when you look at the Quest 3 and you see the focus on augmented mixed reality, for me that's a shame. The price is suffering for the push towards augmented reality when I don't think the headset's really ready for that yet. As Tony will constantly remind everybody, augmented reality has like a huge place in the future. And as I always say, at some point in time, virtual reality headsets and augmented reality headsets are definitely going to converge and be one and the same thing. But they're converging too early. It's not ready yet. Like, it's too bulky to be an augmented reality headset for my taste. Future though, definitely. Okay, mate, you did a focus group after the release of the Quest Pro, and they definitely know the mixed reality is dog shit. That's good, but they still are obviously clearly pursuing it. And maybe it's better on the Quest 3. Like, maybe it will be clearer and nicer, but even working optimally, like, I can see uses for it. There are definitely use cases, but at this point in time, I would much rather they put all their focus on delivering the best virtual reality that they can, because the technology is better suited to virtual reality at the moment. And as I've said many times, I would also very much like them to emphasize the connection with the PC again. Like, when Meta were driving VR through the PC ecosystem, when they were releasing big budget games for PC VR, that was such a good time. I go back and play those games now with like better headsets than they had at that point in time. So I've been playing Asgard's Wrath and Robo Recall and things like that, and I play those now and I'm like, wow. And I play Asgard's Wrath and it looks incredible, and then they show a trailer for Asgard's Wrath 2 like 5 years later and it looks so much worse. And for that, it's like, come on, Meta, support both, please support both. Chronic, am I going to buy a Quest 3? It's unlikely that it's going to offer me anything significant above what the Quest Pro does, so probably not. I think so. The Quest 3, it looks like a really good device, but the thing that really caused the Quest 2 to catch fire was its price point, and the Quest 3 has not hit the same. So how well will it do? Hard to guess. And standalone VR, like native VR, you play something like Resident Evil 4 on the Quest at the moment, and it is a good experience. I'm not saying that these are like atrocious and nobody should play them, but hardware that you strap to your face is never going to get close to what you can have in like a PlayStation 5 or a PC. So for me, as a PC VR headset, I think the Quest Pro is probably going to be just fine. Will the PC connector cable work with the Quest 3? Replicant, are you one of these that can see the compression clearly? For me, I'm all over the wireless, so the cable makes no difference to me. Don't want to tether myself because I like to spin around on the treadmill. And even when I'm not spinning around, the cable's just annoying. Even when I'm doing actual sit-down experiences. I played Switchback VR on the PlayStation VR 2, which is designed as a game where you just sit down and face one direction the whole time. I played it with a pulley system holding the cable out the way. So like optimal cable position, and the cable still irritated me. So you didn't know it could connect to the PC wireless. Yeah, I think that Quest 2 as well, but Quest 2 and Quest Pro wirelessly from the PC is so incredibly good that I'm very satisfied playing like that. Some people don't like it. Some people see compression more so than I do, like see the artifacting, and they want to play with the cable for that slightly higher fidelity. But to my eyes, it just looks great. It looks great playing wirelessly, and you have all that freedom. Best of both worlds for me. And the Quest Pro controllers, so the reason that I said the controllers were interesting on the Quest Pro controllers have, each of them are exactly the same shape as the ones that they just showed for the Quest 3. Let me see if I can bring those up just quickly. Pause, you bastard. No, pause. So, yeah. Just the YouTube one rather than going to the website. But these controllers, they look, in fact, they look the same shape as these. Same shape, same grip, same button layout, everything the same. So this controller has a camera here, a camera here, and a camera here. So in the same way as the headsets work, it looks at the world around you, it looks at all your fixtures and your furniture and stuff like that, and it tracks its own position in space. So you can move it anywhere and never lose tracking in theory. And that's great. These white ones for the new Quest, the Quest 3 controllers, are the same shape. They do not have any cameras to track their own position in space. They do not have the big tracking rings around them that the Quest 2 had. So likely they're not being tracked by the cameras on the headset itself. So it's not using inside out or outside in tracking. How do they work? What is the magic? And I'm not sure what the answer is yet. But there was lots of speculation before the thing actually came out that there was a new method of tracking that they were using with, like, I don't know, gyroscopics and gamma radiation or something. So how effective, how reliably they track, we'll have to wait for people to use it and see. But hopefully, like, Meta have traditionally been very good with their controllers, so hopefully good. You just want to sit down, but you need food. If you still not had lunch, you're getting on to like 12 hours late. What did I say? What did it say is the cost of the 3? The Meta Quest 3 costs $500. I don't have the UK price yet. Will it track the swaying of your balls? No, Tony, that's why you need the Kinect that you were talking about earlier. You asked me if I would like to see the Kinect used on the Xbox version of VR. And I said, like, not directly for control, but for full body tracking, yes. What I meant was specifically zoomed in on Tony's testicles, so that when we were playing the VR chat, we could just see what was going on there. No, it won't track the swaying of your balls. Chronic, you really hope to hear my review of the Quest 3. If anyone knows VR for comparison, it's me. You're going to wait it out and see what my opinion of it is. Chronic, the issue is that I have not got the funds to buy things for the sake of reviewing them. So I do kind of have to stick to things that I can actually use. The Quest 3, like, that would be a lot of money for me to put out a review. So who knows? Maybe I'll become a massive shill and start getting stuff for free. I'll get sent a free one and I'll tell you that it's brilliant. No, I will never do that. I could review it and then resell it. Yeah, but I'm so disorganized in terms of selling things. I could get, like, strike massive riches and then just buy it for the sake of reviewing it and then give it to one of you as a prize. But chances of striking massive riches, pretty slim. Pretty slim. Space Denizen will tell me about it. There you go, Chronic. Space Denizen will tell you. Space Denizen's got loads of different VR products. I will say, if you've never used a VR headset with pancake lenses, then you are in for a treat. It's like, it makes a massive difference just not having to worry about the exact position of the headset to keep your view nice and clear. They will probably do the $1 to £1 conversion. Yes, Replicant, I expect 500 monies in most places, maybe more in Canada. Seems to be the way of things these days. Peter knows those Japanese games. Games that track your balls are pancake games. Not sure about that, Peter. I don't know what you've been playing or how you've been tracking your balls or whatever else. Feel free to share. You thought that I was temporarily rich. No, Isla. Getting a loan is the opposite of being temporarily rich. It puts you in excess debt. Yes, I became temporarily able to buy myself a graphics card and a treadmill. For the rest of my days, I'm paying that money off. So, no, not temporarily rich. Oh, the treadmill's going to be fun. What did I say we were talking about? VR, right. So, Asgard's Wrath. That was the first game to talk about. It was the last game of the Meta VR showcase. It was their big signature. So, Asgard's Wrath 1. You probably maybe see... In fact, let me get some Asgard's Wrath 1 first. My channel... For those that don't know how I play my VR games, which one shall I get? This isn't the best footage. The most recent one I didn't record perfectly. Nonetheless, it's still mostly cool. Oh no, my legs. You can see my legs. Finding a suitable bit of footage. So here's Asgard's Wrath 1. No, it's not smooth. This isn't the smoothest footage you've ever seen because my usual capture method was not employed, but Asgard's Wrath was a very good looking VR game with much going on, like high quality textures throughout. It's about 150 gigabytes or something to download and install it, which I'm not saying that size equates to quality, but it does say something about the amount of like art and assets that have gone into a game. Oh, boring section that I've chosen to preview. This is a puzzle. I don't do puzzles. Let's go here instead. Combat, and it's good. Yeah, that's how we slash stuff. And I'm playing it at the moment on the Quest Pro, and it's so good. But by contrast, sorry if you're enjoying the VR play, but it is still on my channel elsewhere. You can watch it if you like, and there will be more streams of it. Oh damn, it's so good. So good. By contrast, they showed Asgard's Wrath 2, so how the tech has evolved 5 years, like maybe 6 years, like a lot of years later. Asgard's Wrath 2, not suitable for people my age. One moment. Asgard's Wrath 2 looks like... Not this is CGI. But just a moment. Looks like this. Which... Okay, it's not like an awful looking game, but it is way behind Asgard's Wrath 1. And that's kind of, that epitomized the whole of the MetaQuest VR showcase for me. Because it's like, it's Meta still putting money into virtual reality, and I love that about it. Hello Baz, welcome. So I'm really glad that they're showing games rather than showing their like crappy metaverse things that we know they care about more. They are still putting money into games to push this technology. That's brilliant. There were some surprising games in that showcase, like Bulletstorm, like this wasn't a surprise, but it's a big game, and the Vampire whatever it was game. These are cool things that I'm happy to see. But almost everything is like graphically underwhelming compared to virtual reality experiences that have been on the market for 5 years already. So it's swings and roundabouts. Like, it's not all bad news. These will be good in headset. It's just that things were better before, so it's hard not to watch it and think back and be sad. Like if they came out and said Asgard's Wrath 2, this is what it looks like on Quest 3. By the way, we're also doing a PC VR version for the few nerds that play PC VR. Then I would have wet myself with glee and gone and pre-ordered it straight away. They're making it more stylized due to hardware shortcomings, exactly Replicant. It's like, to be fair to that one, like it's not massively stylized. It's just not as impressive as the older ones. Most of the games in the showcase were cel shaded for that exact reason, though. They came off as soon as my face popped up on the screen. What did? What came off? Do you still have pants on? Oh no. Oh no. I became temporarily unable to be sensible in spending. We've all been there. Remember, be nice. Well, I have never been sensible in spending. What happened was I somehow convinced the wife that the loan was a good idea. K-Med, you need to watch that showcase. The Quest Pro showcase was all about work. I mean, the Quest Pro was mostly targeting work. And most Facebook Meta events put too much emphasis on, yes, work and business collaborations, and if it's not that, then it's metaverse stuff, which was their obsession for a while. So that's sort of like, in that sense, seeing a showcase, a gaming showcase that is genuinely just VR games, thick and fast, brilliant. Very, very happy that someone is still putting money into that space. Now, let's look at another one. You recommend going back and watching my watch along stream? Yeah, so if you haven't watched the Meta showcase yet, it's not very long. It was like 40 minutes of actual content and a 15-minute pre-show. I did co-stream it all, so if you want to watch it with my delightful commentary, which is mostly me saying, oh fucking hell, it looks cel shaded again, ah fucking hell, where's the PC, want a PC version, for like an hour. It's there, you can watch it there. It's not as annoying as it perhaps sounded there. My voice is going, my voice was still like good at that point in time. Let's have a look at some more of the VR surprises though. No, that's my channel, that's my legs, don't need my legs. Back. So I'm not going to go through all of the games that are in the showcase, but I want to look at Bulletstorm because I didn't take it in very well and I want to watch it again. No, I want to look at Power Wash Simulator because this, it didn't leak. They gave quite clear hints as to what was coming. Power Wash Simulator was known to be coming in VR. Power Wash Simulator I've never played. Lots of people love it. The thing that's always tempted me has been the crossovers with other games. So particularly like visiting Midgard from Final Fantasy, visiting the Warhammer 40k Dark Grimy Worlds, and cleaning these, like visiting them without enemies trying to shoot you all the time, in a more relaxing pace and environment. So I actually was quite interested to see what happened with Power Wash Simulator in VR. That was not it. That looked turd. I don't want to visit the places that were in that trailer. They just looked awful. Let's watch them again. This is not CGI bit, but this is not the same as visiting Midgard and going, wow, look at Final Fantasy in VR. It looks wank. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. You're going to pick this up and play it while using your laminated photo of Jordan. Cool. You don't know, something reminded you. You wonder what it would feel like to power wash your scalp. Probably good. Power Wash Simulator is addictive. The Final Fantasy VII update was pretty awesome. Yes, Peter, the Final Fantasy VII update was the first time that Power Wash Simulator kind of turned my head. And I went, oh. And then when I heard it was coming to VR and thought, you know, I could play it. I could explore these places in peace. I particularly wanted to explore something like environments from Doom or some grisly, fast-paced first-person shooter. Just cleaning the gore off of the scenery so you could like get a feel for the world without stuff trying to kill you all the time. I thought that would actually be a good VR experience. K-Med, it's not Power Wash Simulator slander, it's Power Wash Simulator VR slander. Don't wank in a pancake. Look. This is that Saturday show all over again. Don't do that. I'm not on top chat, I'm just struggling to keep up. Beta Cypher, welcome. It's going brilliant. Thank you very much. Oh, I see. Peter Wallen said Power Simulator seemed pretty wanking pancake, to be honest. Did you play it, Peter, though? Because people seem to love that as a way to relax and unwind. I don't think Wayne's here at the moment, but Wayne put time into that one. Skyrim crossover. You want to clean up Whiterun? Exactly, Peter. I mean, I can play Skyrim in VR and explore, and it's nice and fun. But yeah, that's the kind of thing that I want from it. You spent 30 minutes on it. I haven't even downloaded it, but I was tempted. Like I say, I was tempted by the prospect of VR and other game crossovers. And that's not what I'm getting. So Power Wash Simulator can stay off my radar. Sorry, K-Med. You can go and enjoy it. But I don't have time to relax. Ever. What else was there, though? I want to see... I don't want to see Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is an interesting game, but I don't want to see it. I want to skip to Death Hotel, a sweary game in VR. Let's look at Stranger Things. Another game that suffers from the curse of the native quest. You get to be Vecna, you get to be the bad guy, doing psychic magic and exploring the Upside Down. Except the Upside Down looks shit. And everything in it looks shit. Character, like, it looks like they're building a game that might actually be really fun. You get telekinesis, you can do wild shit, you can visit the real world and break stuff with your dark powers. But it also looks shit. Imagine what they could have done if they made this a PC VR game or a PlayStation VR 2 game. That one creature looks quite good because they spent the entire rendering budget on it. Everything else... I will say, and I've said it many times, trailers don't do VR games justice. So when you're in there, a lot of what's bad about it will melt away. And I'm sure it is actually going to be one of their showpiece games that's more impressive. You're surprised there hasn't been a decent attempt at a Stranger Things game. You don't think that was going to be a decent attempt? It might be. You got jump scared by beams of light. I don't know what that means. I've missed some more chat. To chill out, it's a good laugh. You played it with your daughter co-op cleaning Midgard and 2 hours went by very quickly. Good. Good. 2 hours is like... That's a good time to spend with your daughter. I'm happy for you. Power Simulator Spider-Man or Batman collaboration would be cool. Like cleaning webs and picking up batarangs and whatnot. Yeah, Beta, that's exactly the kind of thing I want. Good I hate game crossovers and collaborations when the game is like more serious in tone and nature. When you've got a game that's built out a good world, a good story, a good universe, whatever else, and then they introduce a character from a different game or some nonsense like that. I don't like the kind of fourth wall breaking nonsense, but Power Simulator, have at it. It makes all the sense in the world to do in that game. Isla, neither do you. You turned around and the reflections of light made you think someone was there, and you died, but no one was there. Well, I'm glad that you survived your dying. I am glad about that. One more VR game. We're going to look at the Bulletstorm one. And I've fucking forgotten how to use a PC. What do the buttons do? How do I find trailers? Oh, it's gone. Why can't I see Bulletstorm? It's not there. It's not there. Oh, wait. I found more trailers. Samba de Amigo. Oh, Underdogs, their mech shooting game. That looked fun. How many games are there? Let's do a quick count. There's 28 games, or 28 different trailers, so 20-something games. Not a bad showcase. Here is Bulletstorm VR. One that's not gone for the shell-shaded look. One that looks like it could be a ton of fun. I played Bulletstorm, the pancake version, when it was fresh, and it's a game that was fun to play and shit at the same time. And this obviously looks a little bit crappy, but shit, but fun to play. I'm very, very happy to hear that there's a PlayStation VR 2 and a PC VR version potentially that might look a hell of a lot better than this trailer. I wonder if it's got the Duke Nukem content. As far as I know, from what they said, this is a complete, it is a VR version of the actual Bulletstorm game. So the whole game playable in VR. And it looks like it's got fun gunplay mechanics. I remember those powers. And I'm going to play it on my treadmill and it's going to be fun. True description, yeah. It's made by People Can Fly that made Gears of War Judgment. Like, they're a studio with mixed pedigree, mixed success. They're definitely not bad. And they definitely put out some duds as well. But it's nice to see established studios that have been running for a long time getting on with making VR games. You quite like Bulletstorm. Yeah, it was fun to play, but it was also quite by the book design in a lot of ways. The world sometimes looked big, but it was quite confined in where you could actually go within that world. It was quite scripted in terms of the way that everything played out. But it was good fun, it was a good laugh. That's what I mean. It was a good game, but it was a shit game at the same time. Good fun, but also a bit wank. The VR game just looks like it'll be good fun. Peter, your very ignorant knowledge of VR games, the one that I played with the horror tunnel ride was one of the most entertaining, was it? So that was Switchback VR on the PlayStation VR 2. Are we saying wank or not? Yes, I say it fairly frequently, usually to mean bad. Not overly crude most of the time. Yeah, Switchback's not my favourite VR game by quite a long stretch. It was reasonable, but a bit strange. For those that don't know, it's a roller coaster horror ride thing. You've got guns and you shoot stuff. You have no control over where you go really, besides a few track switching moments. And I'm glad that it was a reasonable watch. It's packed with jump scares and things like that. And it has some novel little touches, like its mannequins that only move when you blink, using its eye tracking and all of that stuff. John hasn't come back. That was the fella's name. That's a shame, Tony. I was hoping that John would be here today. So last week on Q&A, we had a John in the chat who was accusing me of being a fake neutral and saying that I'm not allowed to... Was it that I'm not allowed to talk about PlayStation? Because... I can't remember what his logic actually was. He stuck around for quite a while. You were hoping that I would have forgotten? No, that was a highlight. I enjoyed my time with John. I had forgotten his name. Like, he's not a person of worth or note. But it was quite a funny moment. Quite a funny exchange. Baz, only thing what freaks you out is horror VR. Even regular games in VR can be terrifying relative to like any other experience. VR games that are done well, that have that presence. I remember being like absolutely dead on the spot when something charged me in Serious Sam VR. Serious Sam is not a scary game. Serious Sam is like headless bomb-carrying guys going, "Rah!" I don't even know how they shout because they haven't got heads. Lots of silliness, but there was like a bull or I don't know, some kind of mammoth that charged at me in Serious Sam, and I just like froze and died on the spot. So horror games, like actual horror games in VR, it's so hard to push forwards, as you know, because I'm still only like an hour or two into Resident Evil 7, which is going to be continued soon. How dare he come here and soil the vibes? He didn't soil the vibes. Everybody like had a good laugh at him, which is what we're here for. He couldn't do horror games in VR. I couldn't do horror games in VR except to entertain people. Like streaming them, people love it when you piss on your own treadmill. So I'll do horror VR games for that reason, with my little heart rate monitor, so you can see how brave I really am. Favorite genre you really want to experience: Resident Evil 7 in VR. You shit yourself in pancake. Oh, Jordan. It's a lot scarier. One moment. Didn't think to open my bottle before I got here. Don't shit in a pancake, no. Don't, like, no bodily fluids in pancakes. Or any other kind of matter from the body. Does Alien Isolation have a VR mode? Peter, it had official VR support that never quite made it to the world, and modders did expose that. So Alien Isolation, I think at various points in time its availability kind of fluctuated. I think you can get hold of it if you want to. It has a VR mod. It's supposed to be very good and very scary, but has bad ladders. So it's like it wasn't quite ready for prime time. So it plays very well. You can hide in your lockers, you can get killed by an alien, but certain parts of the traversal were a little bit janky. I haven't played it. Maybe I should. Isla, make me a thumbnail for Alien Isolation. Doesn't need to be in the next 10 years. I've got a while, but I will get there eventually. Your veggie burgers are bleeding again. Is it the same pack or did you buy them again? Scared the shit out of you in normal mode. No, Isla, don't be on it. There's other games that are like ahead in the queue. Just put that one at the back of the queue. Thirsty Thursday? Where was the memo? Every Thursday's a bit like this. I normally have some wine or something. Had no wine available. Wine, spiced rum, gin, those kinds of things I normally have. But today, nice and simple lager. You have like 3 or 4 different brands and some of them bleed. You used to bite the bottle lids off at parties. It was not worth it. Did you explode your teeth? I have never done my teeth any harm from biting a bottle, but I did have a tooth explode from biting a soft Mars planet chocolate. So I'm aware that it's probably a stupid thing to do. Tony needs a Coke. Be right back. You drink a lot of Coke, Tony. I hope that's good for you. Peter, you can't do VR games because when someone unexpectedly walks up behind you and slits your throat, you would probably have a heart attack. Yeah. I mean, the heart attack would probably be the least of your concerns at that point in time, which might sound wild, but the slit throat will kill you quicker. You stopped doing it because you were worried. You need a nice drink that isn't fizzy. Yes. You do drink a lot. You have a high tolerance to caffeine. I don't even think of Coke as having caffeine in it. It probably has some amount, but no. Is that enough VR? Yeah, if you've got any more VR questions in particular or anything else you want to say, stick it in chat or stick it in the comments thing. I particularly would like to know your enthusiasm levels, or your level of interest in the MetaQuest 3. So please tell me if you are thinking about maybe buying it, definitely gonna get one, or really don't give a shit about it. That's what I want to know. Stick that in chat at your leisure. If you're watching after the fact, please do leave a comment as well, because this is data that I can sell to Meta to fund my purchase. The what? The new headset, Peter. MetaQuest 3. Oh, the placebo effect. Whichever one you're asking about. I'm going to assume that you were directing that as me. Virtual reality headset, Peter. AR will take over gaming more than VR. Tony, by the numbers it might. We've had this discussion so many times on a loop, but as you seem to have forgotten, augmented reality will be bigger because it has inroads into more of society. It will have a bigger impact on, I don't know, normal people's day-to-day life, and as a consequence of that, there's bound to be certain games for it, and it might be like a Minecraft or something similar, like a shared world augmented reality game where you're outside and you can see the same augmented reality as other people around you. Has incredible potential and could be like it could blow VR numbers out of the water just by being something incredibly special. But in more simplistic terms, like getting into virtual reality and being there is an experience that won't die because of augmented reality. VR is just a different thing that is brilliant for its own reasons, and like I keep telling you, Tony, they will be the same headset. It's already happening with the Quest 3, but more and more so you'll get headsets that are very good at doing both. That will be what you have on your face in the future. Amongst other things, you will have your mixed reality headset glasses. You stepped on your sunglasses. Yes, sunglasses. I mean, okay, so they'll do augmented reality, they'll do virtual reality, and they'll do UV ray shielding. So there'll be sunglasses as well. All of these technologies will converge. You will have something that can do all three things. Ooh, mind blown. Imagine you're a VR gaming and someone calls you and you just push a button and see outside without having to take off the VR. Tony, wow, you're so like 6 months in the past with your imagination. You can do that right now. You can do that right now with the PlayStation VR 2, except it'll be black and white. You just press a button underneath. With the Quest Pro, I don't even know what you press. Maybe it's on the controller or maybe it's on the headset itself, but you can get the color pass through right now. Can we do that right now? What? Sunglasses that are step proof? Sure. Need another Google Glass. PlayStation doesn't count. What about the HTC Vive Elite will do it. The Quest Pro will do it. Pretty Windows Mixed Reality had like these really neat real world torch feature. So on Windows Mixed Reality, you could tell Cortana that you wanted to activate your torch, or you could do a, I can't remember if it's on the headset or on the controller, you could do a shortcut to activate your mixed reality, and you use the controllers as a torch to look at the real world around you. These things have been around for ages, Tony. But the fact that you came to the same good ideas as other people means you're on the right line. Well done, Tony. Have a Coke. So the tech is in our phone. Wait, so the tech in our phones, augmented reality, is the same on the VR AR headsets. There's some overlap. They're not exactly the same thing. Augmented reality on your phone is using a camera, though, in the same way that most VR AR headsets do to pass the real world. Isla, could you have called me to tell me about technical difficulties that I don't know about? You know, I'm getting all my headsets confused now. I think on Meta's headsets, so the Quest Pro and stuff, I think you can connect your phone to it and use your phone in that headset as well, which I deliberately don't do because I don't want phone notifications ruining my streams. I can see what you're getting at, like advantages of being contactable in VR, but there are disadvantages too.
Augmented reality is looking awesome. You just hope that prices drop. Which augmented reality looks awesome? What is it that you're interested in? Or what do you want to do in augmented reality? Are you like looking for that HoloLens Minecraft demo? Or are you looking for like, I don't know, shopping prompts and facial recognition, like recognize criminals by looking at them? Kind of AR. Isla, what if it all goes wrong and my wife isn't home to save the day? Then fire and brimstone and end of the world. Which isn't that really what we want? Tony, we could see these AR VR headsets at workplaces like construction sites with 3D printing. Yeah, it's already architecture is somewhere where both VR and AR are already fairly well utilized. And other places, but yeah, you're right, these things will be big. But gaming is the bit that I care about personally because I am a nerd. You have permanent anxiety about VR tech issues. It's not just VR tech issues, Isla, it's everything that I stream is tech issues. Virtual reality streaming happens to be particularly challenging, which makes it particularly worthwhile. The time that chat was broken and I thought no one was there killed you forever. Stop dying. You die too often. I'm glad that you keep surviving the deaths, but you should just try not dying. Peter, not that you know about, but it would have thought that the ability to have AI connections in VR would be desirable as long as you can control them. So, like, there's overlap in that it's technology and it's all futuristic and cool. Wait a minute, to have all connections in VR. Oh, I'm confused. No worries, AI is an interesting topic as well. Things that are exciting in like gaming terms are, yes, virtual and augmented reality. I obviously love those. AI and is very exciting in terms of, and I'm not talking about like Mid-Journey and generative stuff, although that is interesting as well, but like you've seen, so Nvidia did a demo a couple of days ago actually of an NPC that was not scripted in conversation. It was running on AI. It was conversational AI for an NPC and everything about it. In fact, let me find it. What was it called? Does anyone remember what this demo was called? Some people must have seen it besides me. Nvidia AI NPC should bring it up. Yeah, ACE. Nvidia ACE is what they call it. Let's have a little show of that while we're here. So, Nvidia ACE. Play with volume? Sure, why not? Although it's going to be words, which is normally a little bit annoying.
We are thrilled to showcase an immersive and dynamic interaction between a player Kai and a non-playable character named Jin. This captivating ramen shop.
So Jin, the guy behind the bar,
using the latest RTX rendering technology,
uses artificial intelligence to reply in a conversation.
How developers will soon be able to use NVIDIA Riva, Nemo,
and this kind of shit is exciting for the future of gaming. Like, all I want, just give me one NPC companion in Skyrim that can hold a conversation.
To bring Jin to life. Please take a look.
And that's it. I can just stay there and talk to my fake friend. And they can tell me what a good streamer I am. And then it won't matter, the chat doesn't work anymore. Do I think an AI could understand some of the stuff we say in here at some point? Yeah, of course it could. This particular iteration of it, not necessarily. Let's see, I've not actually watched this through, but... So this is using AI for the conversation and Unreal Engine 5's MetaHuman to animate his face alongside the words.
I'm worried about the crime around here. It's gotten bad lately.
Okay, he sounds very wooden.
My ramen shop got caught in the crossfire.
Can I help?
His ramen shop got caught in the crossfire.
If you want to do something about this, I have heard rumors that the powerful crime lord Kuman Aoki is causing all sorts of chaos in the city.
Okay, this is less impressive than I thought, but still, conceptually, as a thing for the future,
I have heard he hangs out in the underground.
Wouldn't that be fucking awesome to be able to talk freely to the NPCs and have them respond as people?
I'll go.
That's enough of you, tech demo. We get the point. Selling used bathwater by the bag. What are you talking about, Tony? Tom, you'd personally like to use AR for music production. Imagine using an yep. I can see that working, especially for people that don't have a real one. I have no artistic talent whatsoever. I can't create music no matter what kind of equipment or software you put in front of me. So virtual reality, AI. I'm still a big believer that cloud compute can make a massive difference to games that we play. And I'm not talking about streaming, like I'm not talking about the Stadia and xCloud kind of cloud technology, but stuff like the there's not many examples, but the concept of Crackdown 3 and the stuff that they delivered with the world on Flight Simulator, and the stuff that hopefully Kojima and Microsoft's cloud native team are going to deliver, that's very exciting in the gaming space. And the last, like fourth one, if I were to pick things that are exciting in a technology sense, would be ray tracing as well, as a rendering technology for the future, changing the way that games are made and look. Is all cool stuff. I've probably missed some things, but if people ask me like what kind of stuff causes little sparks in there and gets me thinking and gets me excited about the future of games, it's not console warring, it's not Activision Blizzard acquisitions, it's these kind of areas moving forwards and just getting wildly exciting. Replicant, I know that YouTube video. I know of the Skyrim mod, so you can get ChatGPT to have conversational work in Skyrim. The voice work was robotic. It wasn't just that though, it was also very slow. So to use it, the way that it's currently implemented, this mod in Skyrim, is the NPCs aren't naturally conversational. You have to cast a spell. So you go to an NPC and you cast your I would like to talk to AI now spell, and then you say whatever you want to it, and it always says I need to think about that or something like that, and then they freeze for like a minute or two before giving you a fairly convincing but horribly robotic response on the conversation. So it's got a long way to go, but like just like touching that and seeing the future is like it's properly interesting. Give me one Skyrim companion that can have a nice responsive back and forth. It can require an online connection, I don't care about that, that's fine. It can have a real person on the other end of the phone. No, that's not the same thing. I want to talk to a robot. A real robot. Peter, you've talked to the latest AI multiple times recently, and you have to say their responses are still underwhelming unless they're just gathering data from the net. Yeah. Perhaps. Which ones have you been talking to? I'm not really dabbled in it. I've not had the conversations with them. ChatGPT plus Skyrim. Yes, KMed. That's the one that is used in the mods. It's not there yet, but it'll get there. It'll get there, and I will live there forever. That's why I have it as... Oh, I don't have any posters on my wall today, but you know, I've got Skyrim on my wall. Because that's where I will die. Jordan knows all about how to survive AI converse with people. His girlfriend is AI. Well... yeah. Jordan, defend yourself. Tony, you want to talk to a real robot. That's what a robot would say. Yeah. Nobody's ever like pretended that I'm anything but. That's fine. You won't believe how ChatGPT AI changed Skyrim forever. That's actually a video that's prompted. YouTube has prompted me to watch that right now. I'm not going to, because I don't like the clickbait subject. I like the title. Angie no Steam emoji. Let's move on. That's enough of what are we talking about now? Was that the virtual reality bit? We'll close that off. Nobody's told me your thoughts on MetaQuest 3 though, so I just need you to tell me, like, I'm gonna buy it, I might buy it, I'm not interested in VR. Just give me that like little temperature measurement, you know, so that I can sell the data to Meta, get rich and buy everything I've ever wanted. Yeah. You don't have VR, you're interested in PSVR 2. See, that's good feedback. You're not buying maybe PSVR 2. Interesting. Is it because you have higher hopes for the game catalogue on PSVR 2? If you had money and a house... waiting for more killer apps to dive in. Yeah, Sony need to cement their plans for the future. I think people would be more willing to jump in if they said, like, here is evidence of our hybrid development. You are going to see many first-party games for years to come. But they haven't done that yet, so I understand people having a little trepidation, a little skepticism. Makes a lot of sense. PSVR 2 will hopefully deliver higher quality. It'll deliver higher quality than the native Quest will, yeah. Tom, you would love VR, but you don't have the money right now. No surprise with the moving house and the lavish hunter's chicken and all of these things. Baz, until there's more and better games for VR2, then yes. It's not short on games, I will say that in its defense. Like, as a platform that's only just launched, it has quite a wealth of content, some of which would last a very long time. But yeah, Sony could use convincing people of just what the future looks like and how promising it can be going forwards. Understood. No argument from me. By quality, you mean production value from first party, not graphics. Yeah, it's not really a PlayStation VR2 show, but the thing that is most exciting about that device from my perspective in terms of its potential for the future is that Sony have struck a really nice balance of technology that allows them to take pancake games like Resident Evil 8 and like Gran Turismo and things like that and deliver a convincing virtual reality version of them. So through it's like foveated rendering and all these kind of things and all the stuff that they've done to save on rendering budget, they've got the device to a point where they can do a decent version of pancake games. And so far they're relying on like Capcom to show them, like to prove it to the world. But that proof has been really damn good. So potentially, like, they should be coming out and saying, we can do this and we're going to do this. And that's the most exciting thing about that device. Or the most promising thing, I would say, for its future. Here's hoping that they keep delivering on that. Peter Moore and ChatGPT, we will leak. And the other one, the issue also exists with art AI programs. In some ways, it shows the problem clearly. Ask for a picture, see the result, think, oh dear, what the fuck. So I've used Midjourney a little bit for drawing pictures, and on some things, it's absolutely incredible, and it gives you exactly what you want. But when you get more and more specific, it can definitely struggle. Stop being angry, Isla. AI is nice and friendly. 117 games for VR2, but how many are good? 115 of them, Baz, are good. That's fair. You value nice food and a good glass of wine over saving for VR. Yeah, like, enjoy what you enjoy, get what you can. Cooking's obviously a thing that you do. So, pancake gaming and nice food is enough for now. Nothing is ever enough, but I get you. Let's talk about Diablo. No, let's talk about Street Fighter. No, let's talk about Diablo. So, who's on Diablo either this weekend or when the standard edition comes out? I don't know what to say about Diablo, really. It's reviewing really, really well, and I still don't trust the Battle Pass system. And it's massively souring my excitement for the game. Because I played the crap out of Diablo 3, really, really enjoyed it. And as you know, I played the Diablo 4 beta and was like very perturbed by the lack of role. It broke my heart into 1,000 pieces. It was like 900 pieces beforehand. Why can't you roll anymore? But that's not what really put me off. Like, I enjoyed my time in the beta. It is a good game. I can see that it's going to be fun. But the Battle Pass and seasonal stuff, I just have concerns. I don't trust Blizzard. I don't trust Blizzard under Activision because I've seen the way that they monetized things like World of Warcraft, and I don't trust their greed. And when I was watching, like, for better or worse, I was watching Go Live on Saturday, and Oh No, It's Alex mentioned that there's an item in the Battle Pass. He mentioned specifically what level it's at. I don't know, like Ashes of Alar or something. And this Ashes of Alar item is a consumable that helps you level up faster. And that's like the worst thing that I can hear I was watching it. Yeah, I had to watch it to press buttons to make the whole show work. It was an essential function to listen to who was talking and press the right button so that the cameras did their business. And playing trailers and things like that. But he mentioned this Ashes of Allah. I hate consumables that let you level up faster or find better loot or anything like that. They're one of the absolute worst monetization mechanisms going, because they put they throw the game into a place where you think, I really want to get a couple of levels, or I really want to find a particular item, or upgrade this thing, or do that thing, and rather than getting playing the game, playing it for what it's worth and having fun, you have to start to think, would it be more efficient to just spend a little bit of money? It probably would be more efficient to spend a little bit of money, play a bit less, and get all the things that I want, get my rewards quicker. And then you just got this constant nag, oh, I'm playing the game, but I could be playing it better if I paid a bit of extra money. And the fact that this consumable exists, even if it's currently only in the battle pass, you know that Blizzard are going to sell it soon, and it's just going to ruin the game horribly. Now, I'm still going to play it because Peter, you would check out Ainsley's review at Season Gaming. He's a Diablo veteran, and the battle pass has no pay to win now. And Rod Ferguson did say on Unlocked yesterday that the game will have 0 pay to win. That's fine, Peter, but Alex says that it does have it right now. The item that he described, if it does what he described, I would very much consider that inexcusable pay to win. It's one of those things. Pay to win is a term, people have different interpretations of it, and for a PvE game, what even is winning? So you can argue that doesn't make it pay to win, but it's a mechanism of nagging you to spend money constantly, and that genuinely sucks the fun out of things for me. I'm taken out of the world and put back into the real world where I need to think about my finances, and that's not what games are. Pay to enjoy. Just think about whether you should pay or not. That's enough. The question, do you want to pay for this? Thanks, Blizzard. I was having fun, and now you've made me think about money. So I hate that kind of thing, and that worries me on Diablo. But I've used the Xbox loophole workaround and got it for 30 quid, so it can't be that bad. Ashes to Ashes, did we ever figure out what the background is? The background has been identified right at the start. It's not Elder Scrolls or any other ES. So you are welcome to keep guessing. It has been identified though. And we have talked about this particular game through the show as well. Shark Murder Sim. Shark Murder Sim. Fortnite Candy Crush addicts. Most battle passes have a type of level ups. It's for the new games that you can't grind and need instant gratification. Yeah, so you can pay your way through the battle pass. That sucks. If it's anything like Fortnite, just having the battle pass probably means that you level up faster. That sucks. It's still Diablo though. I could probably, if I can just mentally step out of it and say, right, I'm going to ignore these functions, ignore the question of what I do and don't want to buy, there's probably a really good game there. But the questions are there, and they're hard to ignore, and I don't like it. You stepped away and you missed it. Time to sleuth. You don't need to sleuth Ashes to Ashes. I'm sure someone can spill the name of the game if you would like them to. It has been, like I say, it's already been identified, so it is in the open. I'm not going to say it out loud in case anybody is watching and not reading chat, but people in chat, you're welcome to say. Am I waiting? As Crypt Keeper, I'm not waiting because I got that. So Xbox I talked about it a little bit earlier on, but there's an exploit at the moment where if you pre-order the standard edition, they will offer you the ultimate edition for 30 quid, which is the price to upgrade from standard to ultimate. You can then refund the standard edition. You end up with the ultimate edition for 30 quid. 30 quid is a good price for a new game, and Diablo probably won't hit that price for quite a while. So no, I'm not waiting. I do have it. That doesn't alleviate my concerns with how they're going to monetize it going forward. Tony, like a wife, saying it's not big, but if I squint hard enough, it's good enough. Yeah, they do have these views on TVs, don't they, Tony? Like typical wives, they always want a bigger TV. I get you, I'm with you, I know what you're saying. Diablo's like a sauna suite. Enticing, but makes you wonder if you really want to pay for this. I really liked Diablo 3. Diablo 3 obviously had its slightly, well, it's controversial, I'll say, real money auction house thing, where Blizzard were way ahead of the NFT game and started trying to give value to items, and that was a bit of a shit. But they took that out, and Diablo 3 was just, it's a good game. I enjoyed it a lot. Diablo 4, I liked what I played of it, but this money question is just... Ugh. That's if it works. No, it does work, Baz. I did it today. There's obviously a chance that Microsoft will retrospectively correct this. They'll say, hang on about, this is a terrible exploit. I'm sorry, we've had to cancel your order. You can buy the game again if you want to. But there's also every chance that it will work and I'll get to play it. So that is my current situation. Okay, Med, there are so few games that suck you in like Diablo, so you're willing to give them your money for entertainment. Are you willing to give them your money perpetually though? Like, being willing to buy the game to play Diablo makes all the sense in the world, but are you thinking that you're going to get seasonal battle passes and anything else that they want to sell in the shop? Or are you thinking this is a fair transaction, I will buy your game and I will play it? Yeah, the real money auction house was a shit show. Diablo 3 was a lot of fun, and you could roll, so the console version of Diablo 3 was even better. Peter, you've loved every Diablo since 2, although you didn't play 3 until it came to console and all the auction stuff was gone. 3 was better on console. 3 let you roll through all the pots and stuff. It was very satisfying. Coleslaw, lettuce, burger, brown sauce, grilled onion, raw onion, leek. That's... what's the middle onion in that? The middle onion Avenger, what does it mean? I understand grilled onion and I understand raw onion, but in that context, what's like regular onion? It's crispy. Okay. Okay, I'm not convinced. You're definitely going to buy the battle passes when you know you can play through them and get your money's worth. Cosmetics, not so much, to be honest. Isn't the battle pass supposed to be just cosmetics? Also, like... I've never been against a simple subscription model in theory like World of Warcraft used to have before they monetized it in additional ways. I've never been against paying for content, and battle passes can be a fair mechanism for doing that if you want long-term support for a game. So they're not inherently evil in all circumstances, but consumables to level up faster are inherently evil in all circumstances, and battle passes are a very delicate thing to get right, and Blizzard under Activision probably... You sent me a picture of onion. I will check the picture of onion later, but thank you. I'm a secret Final Fantasy uwu. Tony, I've played Final Fantasy XIV more than once. The opening of that game is atrocious and makes it very difficult to persevere. People say that it gets so good once you've got to the end of the game and started playing the expansions, that they're peak Final Fantasy, really good stories and good game, but no, I can't get there. I'm pretty sure that Final Fantasy XIV has taken cues from World of Warcraft and also is monetized to shit and back as well. K-Med, you meant store items. You used to pay subscriptions for MMOs, so it's not a bother to you. Depends how and what they do with the battle passes. Yeah, subscriptions and paying for content, I'm all for it. In theory, it's just so rare that people get it right, that they don't step into the greedy lane. Ashes to Ashes. What is the background? Aha, you give up. Music, but the visual you can't guess, and it's driving you up the wall. Feel free to help Ashes to Ashes with the background. And keep your debit card away from cool cosmetics, Replicant. Yeah, I'm not a fan of cosmetic purchases. I understand cosmetic shops if that's what supports the content. I understand battle passes if that's what supports the content. I understand paying for expansions if that's what supports the content, but the kind of key thing is that's an equivalent. You either charge people for the content directly, here's an expansion, you can pay for it, or you monetize in other ways as a mechanism to deliver that content. So you monetize with a cosmetic shop or a battle pass or whatever else, so that people who want to pay can pay, and that content is delivered to everyone. There's advantages to that, like not segregating the player base, making sure content is accessible to everyone whether they pay or not. That's all can be done for good reasons, can be a positive, but so often, unfortunately, the money people look at it and go, this is a way to make money, this is also a way to make money, and this is a way to make money, and this is a way to make money. I know, I'll take all of those. And it just ruins things. What's a frog tomato? You don't want one of those, Tony. Ashes to Ashes has identified it. Yes, we've been talking about Asgard's Wrath today and how much better it looks than Asgard's Wrath 2. This is... I've not played enough of Asgard's Wrath to know if it's one of the main locations, but it's a tavern that you visit quite near the start, and I'm still revisiting it a few hours later. Oh, when you step on a frog, oh no. Kratos, welcome. I'm assuming you just finished work. I'm on to you. I know your time zone now, so welcome. Thank you for stopping by again. Much appreciated. Oh no, someone's mentioned me on Discord. How dare you? That's fine. So, when does the Diablo 4 early access start for people like me that got the super expensive, but not actually super expensive, dodgy version of Diablo? It's this weekend, isn't it? And I'm not likely to play it much this weekend. To be fair, like the concept of paying an extra 30 quid to get access to the game 5 days early or something is not appealing to me. The only reason I have that is because it made the game half the price. Midnight UK time tonight. And when Street Fighter playable? 4 PM tonight for you. And you're on a call for work, so you guess you're going to get some playtime. This weekend, I am missing quite a chunk of time. I might get a little time to play tomorrow. Saturday's very busy. Sunday we'll have some playtime, but I also have, depending on what time it launches, I also have Street Fighter 6, and I need to get better than everybody at Street Fighter 6. So, which one will I play first? I don't know. When I do start playing both of those, I still need to progress through Cyberpunk. I still need to finish the Ascent. I still need to start bloody Dragon Age Inquisition and Forspoken and all of these other things that I need to get through. Too many games. What a delightful problem to have. You mash the buttons in fighting games. Let's move on to Street Fighter. So, no. Tando, there's a name I haven't seen before. Welcome. Fly to New Zealand for Street Fighter and you can play it right now. Oh, so I have that on the PC. It was 36 quid on the PC, which is, again, a nice price for a new game. I'm not sure it works the same way on the PC. Yeah, Cayman, my backlog is like in thousands of games and I will never get through all of them. But I'm going to try. So, head count. Who's getting Diablo 4? Who's going to jump into multiplayer with me? And what class are you playing? I haven't decided what class I'm going to play yet. I keep seeing people playing druids in the review period, but... Because I'm definitely getting it one way or the other, and I will probably play multiple classes, but my first class will be... Don't know. You're going to jump in for some co-op? Is it completely open, like numbers? How many players can join up on Diablo 4's co-op? Because I know it's like slightly MMO-ish, open world-ish. How many people can join you? If you can get the game for $30, then you're in. Kratos, that's the Xbox exploit, though. I don't think you'll get an equivalent on the PlayStation. It's a Microsoft fuck-up. You're going to play the Sorceress. I'm tempted by a Sorceress as well. I might do something weird. Like, I'd never play a rogue in a game, but I like the agile movement, and I want that. 4 players in a party, so like Diablo 3. Okay. Necromancer, you liked it in Diablo 3. Necromancer was massively overpowered in Diablo 3 from what I've played, but Corpse Explosion is so much fun. I played Necromancer in the Diablo 4 beta, and at that point in time it was ridiculously powerful. I think they have balanced it off since then, but... I need agility to compensate for the lack of roll. I'm so disappointed that you can't roll. I've been playing Diablo 3 since, and I roll all the time. You're going to play it in Game Pass eventually. Well, yeah, that's fair. Painful Discourse, like waiting on that acquisition to go through. Play it there. I understand the wait. Tony, everybody rolls. They'd be ridiculous. Not in Diablo 4 they don't, because you can't. You have a dodge on a 5-second cooldown. But Diablo 3 on console, everybody rolls. You were thinking of starting off with a druid. Druid's kind of interesting. Painful Discourse rolls all the time in real life. Not even got Diablo, he's waiting for it on Game Pass, but until it comes, rolls everywhere. Up and down the stairs, why not? So I'm going to play... I don't know what class I'm going to play. But I'm sure it'll be brilliant and I'll be the best at it. You roll all the time, but you play a lot of Souls games. See, I took up the art of rolling before I'd ever touched a Souls game. I have mixed feelings about the whole like rolling invincibility that those games have popularized. It's a bit weird to roll through massive damage and be like, nah, it's okay, I was rolling. But if it's fun, it's fun. You roll because you're a player. Fair enough. Don't know what that means, but fair enough. So Street Fighter 6 is available anytime now. Diablo 4 probably available anytime now. Yeah, I'm going to play all of them. So tell me about Street Fighter. Who's played a Street Fighter game more recently than me? My most recent Street Fighter games that I played, like, to a degree that I understand them. I dabbled with Street Fighter 5 and Street Fighter 4, but never enough to actually even know what mechanics are in there. The last ones that I actually played were Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo on the Super Nintendo, and Street Fighter Championship Edition on the Sega Mega Drive. So Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo was one of the more popular editions of that game, and it had the base roster of characters and it worked very well. The Championship Edition on the Mega Drive introduced like 4 extra characters or something that I never really never really played as or got to know. But I'm assuming things have changed a lot since then, right? So Peter, you're the same as me. The last one you played was on the SNES. I usually played as Ryu or Ken, and basically had the basic like trio of attacks: the Hurricane Kick, or Tornado Kick, whatever it's called, the Dragon Punch, and the Hadouken. And you learn those, and you're all right. You know what you're doing in Street Fighter 2. I think things have changed a lot since then. But FOMO got you with the CD keys price. You bought Street Fighter 6 last night. You're awful at fighters now. I am too, Replicant. So we shall fight, and it'll be fun. Peter, you play as Chun-Li. So Street Fighter on the SNES, though, like the characters weren't remotely balanced in any way that made sense. You had those. I always felt like the games were built around Ryu and Ken. Everything made sense as them. Like it was quite a balanced. You had answers to most scenarios. You could do most things. You could beat most people, and it was simple. Days were easy, life was good. But if you played as like Guile, you had to hold back for 2 seconds and then forwards and punch to do the sonic boom, or you had to hold down for 2 seconds. So you had to sit on the floor going and then up and kick to do his like sonic kick thing. And that was like, wow, this character's not viable, because you can't just sit there for 2 seconds before you do a fireball. Like, you're gonna get slaughtered by 6 Hadoukens in that time. Oh yeah, Blanca and E Honda were button mash ones. Go electric or do the 100 hand slap. Chun-Li was a button mashing one for the lightning kick thing, but that's not what the games are like anymore, right? Oh, and she had to hold 2 seconds helicopter kick. Again, these were like silly bit part characters. Really, you were supposed to be Ryu and Ken. And obviously Street Fighter 1 was an obscure game nobody played, where you had to play as Ryu. He was the only character. Street Fighter 2 still felt like it was made like he was the real character and everyone else was a bit silly. You played Street Fighter up to Street Fighter 3 on the Dreamcast, so you got an advantage on me. Arc System is the only one with good fighting games. Don't know about that, Tony. I played Dragon Ball FighterZ a little bit, and I played Guilty Gear, but that was like... I've not played any fighting game for more than like 10 minutes to actually uncover what the mechanics are and what you're supposed to do. I've seen Street Fighter play though. I've watched people play like high level Street Fighter, and you see lots of like tiny shuffles forwards and dodgy pokey low kicks. Pokey low kick. Trying to like initiate that first bit of contact to open up a combo or whatever. I'm never going to play them like that. I'm going to jump around like a loony throwing fireballs and I'm going to get my ass kicked. I'm not going to become a pokey low kick player. Street Fighter 6 has a simple mode like Killer. I'm not doing the simple mode, that's cheating. First Street Fighter you played was on the SNES, whatever those versions are called. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And you played a little bit of 5. I'm quite looking forward to 6 because like that simplistic Street Fighter is how I remember it and is nice, but I've got no idea what the new mechanics are and how they layer and what you do. You've seen people playing while high. PixelBG, welcome. In the arcade, you had it on the Turbo Duo CD. You had a Turbo Duo CD system. That's one of those wild things that exists, but I'm not convinced it actually exists. I'm not calling you a liar, but one of those systems I've never seen. Great year for fighters with Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat and Tekken. Issue with that, Replicant, is I've never liked Mortal Kombat or Tekken. If you gave me Street Fighter 6, Killer Instinct and either Dead or Alive or Virtua Fighter, then I'd say that's a killer year. That's a great year for fighters. Them's the ones I like. Or Tao Feng Fist of the Lotus. I might have made that name up. I think that was the one on the Xbox. It wasn't very good. But anyway, I'm gonna learn Street Fighter 6. Not very much. I'm not gonna get good at it, and then I'm gonna issue an open challenge, and whoever wants to kick my ass can have a go. Tao Feng, it was Tao Feng. I'm not making it up. It had good ideas like limb damage. Yeah, all the characters got battered and bruised as you played through their fights and stuff like that. That was neat at the time that it came out, and you could swing around lampposts and silly things. But Soul Calibur, that's a good one as well. Painful Discourse. The only issue that I have with Soul Calibur as a fighting game is I really liked Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast. It had a cool campaign, but it also had like just fighting. I was a Mitsurugi player, and I really liked it. The problem with Soul Calibur is that Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast and Soul Calibur 6 today are like the same game. They just forgot to advance it in any way whatsoever. They went, oh, I'll add a few more particle effects, but the same like cramped arenas and fighting mechanics. It's like, did you forget to evolve this game in all of these iterations? So, but yeah, I do like Soul Calibur. If there was a new, fresh Soul Calibur, I would consider getting that. I say consider getting that. I was going to say I would get that, but then I remember how much games cost, and I'm like, nice to say that I would get all of them, but I can't get all of them. Virtua Fighter was the only fighter you ever finished. You beat Dural, whatever it was called, Durant, whatever it, I don't know. That was Virtua Fighter 2. Virtua Fighter was the only fighter you finished. You presume you just had more time back then. Yeah, more time and less games. It was a treat back then when a game came out and you paid money for it and you damn well played it, whether it was good or not. Dreamcast Soul Calibur was amazing. Local game movie rental store had one set up and charged 50p for an hour. Lunch breaks from school were amazing. How did they, like 50p for an hour? That is something. There was a, when I was small, there was a Blockbuster Video that had Virtua Racer. They'd set up a regional Virtua Racer tournament. This is the kind of stuff that Dr. Disrespect claims to be a champion of, like a silly Blockbuster tournament that means nothing. And I was a dumb kid and I'd never played the game, and I was like, oh, I'm really good at games. I'm gonna have a crack at this Virtua Racer. I must have finished the race about like 20 minutes behind the people that had actually played the game before. I'm not sure I even made it to have my name on the whiteboard, but that was fun. Things have changed since then. Now I'm brilliant at Virtua Racer. I would beat anyone on that track. Tony, you buried a VR headset in your yard in remembrance, since they're going to be destroyed by augmented reality soon. Tony, you know full well that they're the same thing. Apple's headset is VR and AR. Meta's headset is VR and AR. Get your shovel and rescue that headset and apologize to whoever owns the garden. Isla has committed the crime of being too tall. That's unusual. You'll take anyone on at Sega Rally. Tom, so long as we're sticking to that first track, I will take that. That first track with its little chicane and its last bend, I will take that. I was at like 48 point something seconds on that track, which is pretty good, pretty difficult. That was like, it's so weird to think back then. Sega Rally was a brilliant game, but it had 4 tracks and 3 cars in the entirety of the game, and it was fucking awesome. Time Trial is the only way you could play Sega Rally. It didn't have any, or did it have split screen actually? It might have had split screen, I seem to recall. So I got Sega Rally for Christmas. It was the first and possibly only, not only, but for a lot of years, only game that my dad tried. My dad saw Sega Rally and was like, this gaming thing that my kid's into looks quite fun actually. And he started the race and he went, crash, crash. Oh no, I don't want to play this. And that was him done for like 20 years until he decided to try Halo. Good times, good times. Did anyone think the Hot Wheels 2 trailer was good? I haven't watched it. I'm going to right now. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. So for those that don't know, so Hot Wheels Unleashed is on voice is going, sorry, my apologies. Hot Wheels Unleashed is on PlayStation Plus and Game Pass. So if you've never played it and you fancy giving it a go, it's very easy to get hold of. I think the Game Pass one I think is the Ultimate Edition that has all of the the Batman DLC and stuff like that as well. I think the PlayStation Plus one is just the basic one, which has less in it. But if you want to play some Hot Wheels and you like racing games that aren't virtual reality, that's an option. Why is the first trailer that came up fucking IGN with their stupid watermarking? Let's look at it on the Xbox channel. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. It's a good game. Like, they have captured the plasticness of Hot Wheels very nicely. Very different to the Forza Horizon Hot Wheels expansion. Like, these are things that can coexist as entirely different experiences. I actually did a little video on this channel comparing the two when they were fresh. Hot Wheels Unleashed and Forza Horizon 5's Hot Wheels DLC. Oh no, they've had a jump. No, cars can't jump. Also, this isn't a trailer. Why am I watching CGI? Who tricked me into watching this? Is there a gameplay trailer somewhere? This game is coming to an augmented reality headset. It's a fine example, Tony. Why not? No gameplay. You freaking tricked me. I don't care. Why would you show me that? All I've learned is that in Hot Wheels you can jump now, and that's a shit addition. But yeah, like racing games, I don't really play them outside of VR, so it's not likely that I would get that one anyway. You put a cocktail stick in Jack's burger, but it was too tall. He lost the cocktail stick, and you should probably warn him. So that's Hot Wheels. So we've got Street Fighter, we've got Diablo, we've got Hot Wheels. Were there any other topics? Was there anything that I missed? Have I actually said any words about any of the topics that I had lined up? Or have I just witted complete nonsense? Because what I'm thinking now is my voice is going, I'm getting hungry, and I should probably start to wrap up. But I don't know what I have and haven't spoken about. It's one of those. It's been a day. Obviously with the live stream of the Meta event as well as this. What are you sorry for? Peter, you asked if anyone liked it. You asked if anyone liked... Was it you that asked about Hot Wheels? It's a fine question. Like, Hot Wheels Unleashed was a good game. And Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 is probably a good game, but I don't like that trailer. Don't need CGI trailers for a racing game. Let's go back through. Topics that I had lined up were the meta stuff. So the Quest 3 and the games from the showcase, which we definitely did talk about some. They were Street Fighter 6, which I rambled about, and then I got sidetracked, and I don't really know if we covered anything there. Does Guile still need to hold back for 2 seconds to cast a Sonic Boom? Or have they refined mechanics for all of these other characters? Is it actually balanced now? Can I play as whoever I want? How many toothpicks did you line up? That's not a question for me. That's fine. You would love it if it was a great game. We can all dream. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 will be a good game, because Hot Wheels Unleashed was a good game. And 2 is like, it's more Hot Wheels, but now you can jump. So it will be a good game. We have no questions. Oh, that's okay. Baz, how long does it take for them to give me a deal after buying the standard Diablo 4? It's instant, Baz. Go and buy standard Diablo 4, like on the pre-order page. Then go back onto the store. Look at Diablo 4 again. Go to choose editions, and it will list the 3 of them. And the ultimate one will have the discount. So it won't just prompt you for it. You have to go looking for Diablo. Unless they're watching this stream and they rectified the problem as a consequence of me talking about it. But that's extremely unlikely, right? 4 submissions. Oh, there are some things to read. They're just not questions. That's okay. That's okay. You collect the Hot Wheels cars in real life. You own some pieces. Do you own... Kratos, do you own like fancy expensive Hot Wheels? I would have touched these things as a child where you'd go into... We had Gamley's was the toy shop when I was a kid. I don't know if they still exist or not. But you'd go in there and they'd have Hot Wheels and you'd pick one up for like a £5. But you'd look at the shelves and be like, whoa, that one costs 100 and something pounds. You're a grown-up that has them, so you might have the expensive ones. Do you have any really expensive Hot Wheels? Somewhere you have a Hot Wheels Rocket League car. I know that they added the Hot Wheels cars to Rocket League. I didn't know they also went the other way and let you get Hot Wheels versions of the Rocket League cars. That makes sense. Right, let's do... Baz, if you have any more questions, if you're struggling through that and it's not working for you, then by all means say so. But for me, it was instant. Pre-order standard edition. Go back into the store listing, go to choose edition, and there's the stuff that you need. Going through the questions then, if you have any more, if you want to throw them in there, then you've still got time, but we're going to whiz through these. So Isla, please present the first question, unless you've got like onion juice on your hands and you don't want to touch your mouse. In which case you're going to struggle to type and let me know that that's the case. Aha, there's a question. Right. Peter Morland, for some reason tonight, regardless of what game background and soundtrack are playing, you're seeing me as sat in the Sea of Thieves bar. The very first episode of Q&A, sir, was set in the Sea of Thieves bar. And it was essentially like I had 2 things. The show was initially like I had it labelled as Tavern Talk, and it was going to be set in a different game tavern every week. And then I thought, no, let's not do taverns. Let's do different game toilets every week. That would be weird. I don't know why I thought that. That one never panned out. But before long, I was just picking any background that I like the look of. So the taverns thing went away. But every now and again, I will revisit a tavern. And call me an idiot. You can call me an idiot. That's fine. Game toilets. The thing is, game toilets were quite hard to capture well. Anyway, reasons. Yes. Next question, please. No, Baz, don't download it. I didn't download it. In fact, it could be... if the game is out now rather than pre-order, that might have changed things around. Or they might have... I don't know. Like, I did it a few hours ago and it worked. Between the metagame showcase and the start of Q&A, sir, it worked for me at that point. So only a few hours ago. I am in the UK. If you're somewhere that has... No, you can't be somewhere that's past it tomorrow, unless you set yourself to New Zealand or something. I don't know, but I definitely didn't have to download it to get the offer. Toilets didn't pan out. Yes, puns are fine and welcome. Let's have the next question. Baz, if you've got the pre-order set and you then go onto the Xbox store and you look at the choose editions page for Diablo, does it just list like standard edition purchased and then full price for the other 2 versions? Because if that's what you're seeing, then I think it might have been fixed, unfortunately. The only thing, this is Tony, the only thing burning is my love for you. Thanks, Tony. What else was burning? What was this in relation to? The context is long since gone. It was my pun. It was accidental, yes. I didn't do it on purpose. We could go through a whole roll or chain of them. Oh no, more puns. I see. Are you feeling flush? No toilet stuff. You can really, it's fine. Tony asked, AR will have, so assault rifles will have more games than, I can't think of anything funny, bollocks. Fine, AR will have more games than VR, period. Long live AR, death to VR and all its games. Well, Tony, VR has a big head start if you include mods, because Prey Dogs mod that comes out this year enables almost every game made on Unreal Engine 4 and 5 in virtual reality. So that is a bulky head start. But if you're talking about low quality, like Flappy Bird style augmented reality games, then yes, the bigger marketplace will get a whole heap of trash. Enjoy it, sir. List the full price for all. What, even the standard edition that you've already bought? Are you sure it's gone through it? It shouldn't list a price for the version that you've already got. I don't know what's happening, Baz. I hope that it works out and you get the cheap version, but I don't know what's going on there. Replicant, you don't see how augmented reality games will work. I mean, there's examples like Microsoft's HoloLens demo used Minecraft as an example, where it placed like Minecraft blocks on top of a table or whatever. There's things like that, and I don't think Minecraft was the best example necessarily, but you can imagine you stick on glasses and people have been, I don't know, what's a good IP? I mean, Pokemon Go is obviously an augmented reality game where you go out and you see Pokemon out in the world. That would work with glasses. You get a better version of that. It's not Pokemon. Something where players can like build in the world or collect things or leave things, or I don't know, just leave their mark on an imaginary world and you can see it. Or if you have the film, what's the Ryan Reynolds film where he realizes it's an NPC? If you forget the whole NPC side of it and just consider what he sees through the glasses, augmented reality could do a lot of that. Things just appearing in the world. And shared augmented reality is, yeah, Free Guy, that's the one. Deadpool, no, Kratos. Deadpool is also, yes, a film, but Free Guy is the one where he sticks on the glasses and suddenly he gets a completely different perspective of the world and sees blocks and power-ups and health packs and things like that. Obviously, health is not a concept that will translate very well, but generally, augmented reality like that has big potential, and there will be examples of good games. And people will say, oh, I'm not doing it, it's too much effort to leave the house, and then they'll go back to virtual reality, and then they'll go, oh, I'm not doing it, it's too much effort, I'm going to play Diablo on Pancake. So Pancake games, Tony, well, will crush all, and there's nothing you can do about it. AR porn is going to be wild. What? That's the same as VR porn, except you can see your surroundings, so you can be more guarded with it, I guess. I mean, there's a conversation to skip over. We're not going to do that right now. Why does it always come back to porn? It doesn't. That's the first time I've ever heard anyone reference like augmented reality porn. This is breaking new ground. There's someone right now like taking notes going, holy shit, this is a concept for the future. And they're visualizing just how to create this, what it will entail and what it means right now. VR porn, I don't know. I don't know why it always comes back to that. I've said before, it's not the way. Games are where it's at. Play games on these things. That's what they're for. People always bring up porn on game podcasts. Well, that's because the only Game Pass you watch has Gaz on it and he's repetitive, right? You can add it to the list of catchphrases for the drinking game. Game Pass. PlayStation is the #1 Pornhub site. I think I know what you're getting at, Tony. You mean that a lot of people with PlayStation browsers were visiting that website. I think that's only like that metric is only comparing versus other consoles rather than all devices with browsers, as far as I know. I don't know. I don't remember the exact details of the study, but yes, that was a thing at some point. It can't be anymore. I don't think the PlayStation 5 has a browser, does it? Maybe it does. I don't know. I don't use a console for browsing the internet. Typing's horrible on a controller. Peter Moore, to be fair, the last 40 years, porn has driven new technology adoption. Sad but true. So the saying goes, that VHS beat Betamax because of porn, that Blu-ray beat HD DVD because of porn. I'm not sure if that one's true, actually. I don't know if Blu-ray had it. K-Med, thank you. It's a very relaxed, conversational... I don't know. I don't know if it's actually any good or not, but people are coming back and we have a nice time. I enjoy it, so... I appreciate that. Let's do... Wait. We're not doing porn anymore. We're doing the last question. Peter Morland asked, and then put a smiley face. Peter, is that a question gone wrong? Have you suffered the YouTube bug? The question has come through as just a smiley face. Sometimes with YouTube, when you type things and you end your sentence with an emoji, YouTube goes, that's the only bit that matters, and takes off all of the text. I'm afraid, Peter, whatever you asked there did not get asked. Isla has asked, Quest 3, Quest 4, Quest 5, do you prefer when they put numbers on them, or should they have different names? Does a higher number on the end of something feel silly? I like numbers to a degree. It gets confusing when you start like splintering off things, like in terms of naming conventions, everybody knows what a PlayStation 5 is relative to a PlayStation 4. So it's very simple. Whereas an Xbox One X, Xbox One S, Xbox One versus Xbox Series S versus Xbox Series X versus Xbox 360, we know what they are, but it's definitely less apparent. And there were definitely issues at launch of people thinking they were ordering a new Xbox and getting an old one because they didn't understand the Amazon listing. So for me, yeah, numbers where they make sense, where the device is like very literally a new iteration of the same thing, like Quest 3 is a new version of Quest 2, which is a new version of Quest, and you can see that iteration going forwards. Yeah, I think it's probably better. So Nintendo is a fair example. The Wii and the Wii U and the Switch and the NES and the Super NES and the GameCube and the N64. To be fair to like in Nintendo's case though, they're not iterative in the same way, are they? Like PlayStation this is just a more powerful version. It's got some new features, but it is an iteration. Whereas Nintendo do go a little more wild. They go, you've had that, you've played Waggle. Now we're doing something completely different. It's not a sequel to Waggle. This is something you play on the toilet, and they give it a different name. So for Nintendo, it probably makes more sense to use the alternate naming because they keep doing new concepts and weird things. So Quest should keep numerical sequences until the device does something completely different. Does that make sense? That's a more comprehensive answer than I expected to give to that question because I didn't really know, but I think that makes sense to me. Tony, would I buy the Pro versions of the Xbox and the PlayStation? Nintendo's trash, so no Pro for them. I would buy the Pro version of a Nintendo console precisely because they're trash and I want a better version of their hardware. If Xbox and PlayStation release a Pro version, I will be disappointed in both cases because the way the generation has panned out so far. If Xbox is the one that I think is more likely to, painful discourse, you remember when they revealed the logo of the PlayStation 4, or was it the PlayStation 5? I remember, yes, the surprise around it, or the lack of surprise around it. PlayStation's naming convention is better. What will Xbox call a mid-gen refresh of the Series X? Yeah. Obviously the PlayStation, like, releasing one model at a time means that they've got one less complication to deal with in terms of the SX conundrum. What was I just saying? Quest 3, Quest 4, Quest 5, done that. I completely lost what I was saying. Super Quest. Shit, I had a thought. It was running, it was going somewhere. I got I distracted myself and completely forgot what I was saying. Oh, the Pro consoles, right. So Xbox clearly geared up to be able to release consoles at any cadence that they want. With the way that their back compat, forward compat, generational shifting works, they could release a console. It wouldn't need to be called a Pro. It would just be a new console, because they really have like left the concept of generations in the past. And I think that their plan probably was to go for like a 4-yearly cycle, would be my guess. But they can't do that when they've flunked this generation so badly. Like, it wouldn't go down well if the Xbox Series X is like superseded before it even has any games. So they shouldn't. Like, it would just be a bad decision. I mean, the Series X was, and I've said before, like, if you own a Series X and you're a fan, then you're probably having a good time, and if you're a fanboy, then you're having a bad time. I like the Series X as a console, but it's not had. They've not done it yet. They can't release a new Xbox before they've started delivering games for this one. It would just be weird. And for PlayStation, like, I don't think PlayStation are as well geared up to do Pro consoles, and there's lots of rumors that they are doing one. I hope that they don't, because I don't think the PlayStation 4 Pro was a good console. PlayStation 4, like, the concept of the Pro devices then was like, display technology has advanced and our consoles are no longer adequate. Let's cater to people that got fancy TVs, and that situation in that context doesn't exist. So it would just be a weird move to release a Pro. Bearing in mind, like, what the PlayStation 4 Pro was, it was a very conservative upgrade. They strapped 2 of the GPU side of it, like, together to make sure that they were running things in the most simplistic sense that they could. They're very, very cautious with backwards and forwards compatibility and how things work. So a PlayStation 5 Pro, I don't really know what it would be targeting and why they would do it, except perhaps that it worked for them last time and they want more money, which is, like, obviously a viable reason to do something. But I hope that they're not going that route. Saying that, I would be in favor of super premium consoles. So the reason I didn't like the PlayStation 4 Pro is that they targeted the PlayStation 4 price point. They released it at 400 monies. Rather than saying this is our super high-end console, they just released one at the usual, like, price packet. I would be interested, and it's not so much like the timing is awkward, but I would be interested in conceptually a very high-end version of the consoles. Yes, Baz, the PlayStation 4 Pro was a horrible console. Really loud, really underwhelming in terms of technology as a Pro console. Because it's like, it's just, you're shooting for a Pro moniker, you're shooting for a premium version of a console that already exists. So go premium. Balls to the wall, expensive, super high end. If that exists as a console, I'm not saying I could afford it, but I would like its existence. Like, because there's a space between, like, PCs are right up here and consoles are down here in terms of power, but not everybody wants the experience that comes alongside it. So a console version that hits the power and all you need to do is have loads of money. Easy, right? Everyone's got loads of money, but a premium experience, that makes sense to me. An iterative version that costs the same as the base versions did when they launch, yeah, I'm not really here for that. What about you, though? Do you want Pro consoles? Do you want upgrades? Are you ready to ditch the current consoles that you've got in favor of more powerful versions? Are you watching Cyberpunk path tracing and going, holy shit, I need that on my console? You're not getting it. You're not getting it. AMD can't do it. Sorry. Peter Morland's smiley face question is still there. Peter, if you've remembered what that question is, then stick it in there. Otherwise, I'm going to have to move on to that next question. Isla, please, next question. Painful Discourse, you want Series XL. Isla, you wish to evolve no toenails. Yeah, they're not that useful, are they? Isla has asked, am I working on new videos? Nope, I'm not, but I have plans. I want to be working on videos. That's a good idea. How can you put me on the spot? You know the answer to this. I talk to you about videos and stuff. You know exactly where I am with videos. Writing down ideas is working on. Yeah, ideas were written down. Stuff is ready to go. Technology has been refined. My setup is in place, ready for video creation. Yes, I will try and get some videos going. Everybody agrees that we don't need toenails. Good. Why are people reluctant to try newer versions of apps, phones, and games? Who's reluctant to try newer versions of things, Tony? Kratos, all honesty, you'll wait 7 years for the next console generation. Otherwise, it'll just be like PC for you back in the day, just spending money to upgrade every year with parts. Yeah, fair enough. 7 years for me, that's a bit too long for a console generation. They do start to feel like quite aged in that time frame, but it's what we might get. I don't know. Baz, you had the Slim. The Misses had the Pro, and you weren't impressed. Yeah, like the Xbox One X was a much more enticing proposition than the Pro. Microsoft aimed high with that and did interesting things with it and tried to like push the boat out a little bit and make it more beastly. And Sony were very conservative with the PlayStation 4 Pro, and they just made a noisy arse of a console. You get that, but it really better be something special to upgrade. Yeah, I don't know what the point of, like, I don't know what they'd be aiming for, because you have to look at like the needs, like PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox One X. There were needs for those consoles because people had 4K TVs, and because the Xbox One was a clusterfuck, so there were needs for those consoles. They made sense to release. You also have to look at like what technology is actually available, what you can release. AMD. Like, you could be a bit faster for that kind of price, but they can't suddenly deliver like ray tracing on a level that will satisfy the ray tracing naysayers. They haven't got a lot to offer, so I don't see new versions of the consoles being good for much. But you know, we'll see what they say, what they're doing. Did it work for you? Baz, have you got your Diablo discount? I also would like to know that. Joe, you've gone for the Diablo discount. You have to wait till midnight to see if it's worked. When did you put it through, Joe? Did you put it through like during the course of this show? Or were you prior? Because Baz is like having some trouble with it right now, whereas I did it just like 3 hours ago. You did Duolingo, good. Oh, it's getting late, good point. Kratos, you've had, I'm afraid, the YouTube issue as well. Your question just came through as a crown. There is no text attached, so I don't know what's going on there. So Baz, if you are still there, Joe has successfully done the Diablo thing a couple of hours ago. It was working at that point in time. Painful Discourse, I sent a delightful... that's not a question either. I don't know what to do with it, Painful Discourse, but thank you. I appreciate your artistry. Kratos, you put the crown on purpose. Okay, good. Final question is going to make a splash. What's my name? Thank you for the answer. Focus on the last line. Okay. Is this the last question, Ina? What will Meta release next? Quest 4 or Quest Pro 2 or something else? That's not... What? Something else. They have a code name for their next device. I think Meta's next device is a higher end consumer device. So Quest Pro is like Quest but aimed at businesses. Quest 4 is Quest but aimed at a wide mainstream audience. I think their device that's rumored to be next, apparently they cancelled like 3 devices recently. They had a lot in the works. They've chopped down the portfolio, but assuming this one is still included, I think it will be a more expensive consumer-focused Quest. So it'll have a different name. It might have Quest in the name, but it won't be Quest 4 and it won't be Quest Pro 2. It'll be Quest Elite Super Duper Turbo Gaming Mode. or being meta, maybe it'll be focused more on. I have nothing else. Super Quest, yeah, something like that. Staying live till midnight for the discount party? No, I'm hungry. We're getting through these questions and I'm going for dinner. I've got a chili waiting for me and I'm going to put so many... I don't want to say the word because I'm going to say it wrong. Tony, close your ears. I'm going to put so many jalapenos on my chili because that's my favourite vegetable. Tom, if you don't mind me asking, what sort of thing do you do for a day job? Don't worry if you don't want to answer, that's cool. Just inquisitive as to what sector a clever fella like you works in. Tom, I will be vague. I do. So I work my day job, I support my wife's family business, doing whatever needs doing. And this is a current arrangement that suits our Game On Daily situation. Prior to doing Game On Daily and all of that kind of stuff, I was in boring IT stuff. I was a solutions architect, architecting sad, depressing, boring things that I prefer not to dwell on. I got out of that world to pursue the dream, to pursue doing gaming related stuff. The gaming related stuff doesn't make any money, so fortunately for me, things lined up. COVID came along, a big pandemic. I got made redundant from my horrible job that I hated, so I got a little payout for that. And COVID also gave my wife's business, her family's business, a very handy boost. They were very suited to lockdown, and they're still doing fine. So day to day, I help there doing things, but I wouldn't consider that like my career path. That's just nice to like help people you care about rather than serve people you don't. So I do that. English speakers don't know what to do with the ThingFi. Tony, when's the last time I got wasted, and do I remember what I did? Are there pics? Oh, not recently, Tony. Not recently. Isla, don't confirm I'm telling the truth. You have to leave it up in the air so nobody knows. I mean, yes, that's the truth. I am not a spy for the Mexican government. Currently trying to ascertain British secrets on location. My story was too specific. Good cover, good cover. Oh, yes, the jalapeno, yo. I don't say it. Yeah, I was not going to dwell on the word. We'll move on. Tom, yes, that's the answer. I am still pursuing the dream, but the dream is financially catastrophic. Yeah, I was a while ago. Next question, please. No. We're not teaching me how to say my favorite vegetable. We're doing the question. That's the previous one. That's the answer again. Everybody enjoyed it, but I would like the next question, please. Talk about Philip Schofield for half an hour. I don't follow celebrity gossip. I've seen headlines that he's done bad, and that's literally the full extent of it. You thought it was a boobs. You see, when that first came up, I saw it and was like, that's an ass. And then I was like, oh wait, normally people use brackets for boobs. And then I couldn't quite see what that is in the middle because it's quite far away. But then Painful Discourse confirmed that yes, it's ass. So that's a thing that's happened. It's a why. Either way, it's convincing. I can see what you were going for, Painful Discourse. Job done. All dreams are financially catastrophic. That's why they're dreams. Yeah, but there's still time. We can bring it around. Tony Akami asked, butts or boobs, which do I prefer? Tony, I'm gonna gloss over that particular question, but definitely boobs. Next question, please. You believe in the dream? I believe in the dream. Just hard to get where it needs to go. Kratos, if I had a chance to make a video game, what game would I make? It depends on whether my video game was supposed to be like commercially viable or not. But there's multiple. I've always wanted to make an MMORPG. I have like specifics for that in mind for what it would be. But because I'm so fervently against the way that things are usually monetized, my MMORPG would probably be another catastrophic failure. So it can never exist. In terms of other things to make, I when I started learning, I started going through Unity's courses. It's like time has not allowed me to carry on, but I had a specific game in mind to make. I forgot Kratos. There's too big. That question is too big. There are so many ideas of things that I would like to put into games. So many games that I would like to make. So many things I would like to do in that space that I can't possibly answer that without doing a like 72-hour straight podcast to talk about them, go through them, and then I'll get all excited, and then I'll get all sad that I can't make them real. So Isla wanted to make a cat murder mystery. Why are you always trying to murder cats? Solutions Architect Simulator, Joe. No. The cat is the detective, you bastard. Next question, please. I want to see what are the memories. Peter love to think. Making the games, yeah. You dreamt of working in games and you managed 20 years. In retrospect, it happened. No miracles, maybe just a bit of luck. Yeah. Like, it's cool. Like I said, I told somebody else, that I work with at the Wife's Family business about your XCOM development history, and he was very excited that I talked to someone that made that game. It is a cool thing to have done. Let's make it simple. Sci-fi game or horror? It wouldn't be horror. My MMO would be like what's the word? Like off tradition high fantasy. So not like elves and stuff, but definitely swords and sorcery. The other game that I had in mind when I was going for my through courses, one that was potentially within reach for one idiot to make, that was sci-fi. Again, too many things that I want, and obviously I had this like I adore virtual reality, so the fact that these two games aren't actually first and foremost virtual reality is a weird thing. And there would be things that I would make in VR as well, of course. But those, yeah. Do you know, in terms of settings, this isn't one of my own ideas, but I really liked Too Human as a setting. So taking something like established like the Norse mythology and cybering it up and just doing something really different with it, that was cool as fuck. So the stuff that I have in mind in terms of both sci-fi and in terms of high fantasy, they're nothing like Too Human, but it's a good example of something that appealed. I really like the way that BioWare build worlds and settings, so that kind of thing is cool. I didn't read your other one. You didn't hurt any frogs or cats. You called me a bastard and you said you didn't hurt frogs. It's a good question with a long answer. It's barely scratching as an answer, but it's not. I'm not sure I'll explore that one in any depth at any point. Maybe I will. Like, it's stuff that I care about, but it's stuff that, you know, very nerd. It's best when I long answer. Why do I hate legs? Who asked this one? Why do I hate legs? Painful discourse. I don't hate legs. I use my legs frequently. They're very useful. Very useful. My Keeley, that's specific legs. I don't like Jeff Keighley's legs. I don't like Jeff Keighley's legs because he wears skinny jeans and giant shoes and just looks silly on stage. Legs are the best. Tom loves Jeff Keighley's legs. But yes, no, I don't hate legs. You're correct that I've said that Jeff Keighley shouldn't have legs, or shouldn't like present legs during the Game Awards. Look out for it on the next one. You'll see Jeff Keighley looking there and you go, wow, his legs look silly. I can't help it. It's just the way it is. Cat's out of the bag. Might as well tell them. True Acer has a secret fetish. Tony, what are you talking about? Please don't elaborate. Next question, please. There were multiple questions. You said there was only one. No, I don't want Keighley to have no legs. I want Keighley to dress in a way that suits the legs that he has. Or just not show them. Right, Replicant. You're going to stream the Keighley show next Thursday? Probably not, Replicant. So the Game Awards, you have to apply to co-stream that. And there's like legitimate risk that they DMCA strike you unless you've got like, approval to stream. Lots of reports that they still caused strikes for lots of people last year. A lot of people that co-streamed the Keighleys last year got strikes for their trailer for the Mario movie. Generally, I don't. I see them demanding people apply for co-streaming, and I'm like, well, that's not how this stuff is done. Just shut your face. So I haven't applied. So no, probably not going to co-stream the Game Awards one. But we'll do like some post-show content of some type, and the Xbox show will probably be co-streamed and covered properly. If I did co-stream it, yes, I would need to find like something, just a fake pair of like baggy pantaloons. Every time Jeff's there, I'd drag the baggy pantaloons on the top of him. Why is everything on Thursdays? I don't know. Oh, I actually didn't know it was on Thursday. I thought it was on Friday. If it's on Thursday and it clashes with this, like with this show, then I don't know. I might have to revisit that answer nearer the time. I'll think about it. Isla, can you draw me some pantaloons, please? Just in case. Nice baggy ones. don't actually. Wait until I confirmed it. If I do confirm it, then I'll use those. You think that the last two questions should have been one? They were, yes. Well related. Good segue. Next question, please. Is the excitement building for me for the Xbox presentation? It's like a fun time of year, isn't it? I see people talking about how hyped to be for it and how hyped not to be, and I want to see Avowed very much. Fable, yeah, but mostly Avowed, and I want to see many other things, like Microsoft have got stuff in the pipeline, so yes, the hype is building for me. I'm looking forward to it. I only gas build up. Baggy pantaloons. Yeah, that's the wrong kind of Jeff. Jeff is with the G, right? Maybe not, I don't know. Yeah, that will be good. Looking forward to the Xbox One. Gaz will be disappointed by the end of it. Gaz is always disappointed by every Xbox show. Gets super hyped and hates them all. I will watch it and enjoy it and probably be quite content at the end of it. How did I meet Gaz? Joe, I'm going to refer you to Web Dave's channel because he asked me that question. I did a recording with Web Dave in the week, like maybe last, I can't remember what day it was, but he's going to release that on his channel soon. He asked me that question and I did go over it like fully with depth and stuff, so I will ask you to check it there because it is a story I don't know, I told more than once and I don't want to go into it right this second, but it's yeah, it's a thing. Someone else did a big interview on me. Yeah, Ham Solo asked me the same question. So Ham Solo's got an interview with me on his channel from a while back, like I don't know, some number of months ago, asked me that question as well. And I think when I was on Iron Lords, they asked me that question as well. So it has been covered in various other places if you want to go and look. If not, I will talk about it in another week if you want to ask that again. Next question, please. Sure, he doesn't care how you spell his name after taking his legs. Makes it all the more important. Painful Discourse asks, why did I meet Gaz? Well, Painful Discourse, it was an accident. It's a very good question, but if there is fate and destiny involved, it was to build Game On Daily and all of that stuff. So time will tell on the why. And I think, is that the last one, Isla? So you did play Destiny. I did play a little bit of Destiny 1, and I played the campaign of Destiny 2, but that's way tangent. I'm not going into Destiny. Painful Discourse, have you resubmitted the ass, or is Isla going back to a previous question? Peter has forgotten the one, and we have run out. He didn't resubmit it. I was just enjoying it, having some fun with that one. Good. Okay, that is the end of today's Q&A. So it ran long, but they be doing that sometimes. So thank you, everyone, again for coming and talking to me. It runs long because the conversation that you will bring into it, rather than, like, it doesn't really matter what I plan. You talk and it's a good time. So I like the chat. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for talking to me. If you do have any more questions, or if you're watching after the fact, always you can leave them in the comments and I will get to them, but nobody ever does that, so that's also fine. Please do hit like. Please do tell people what a fun time you've had here. Yeah, and I'll get that 1,000 subscriber count target hit in no time, right? Good. Everyone's had a wonderful time. Everyone's had a wonderful time. I don't tell your friends. I don't trust your friends. But everybody else, tell your friends. If Isla's friends are watching, thanks everyone. Catch you later.
Game On Daily.
I didn't like that ending. Didn't like the catch you later. But yeah, have a good night. Have a wonderful sleep, and I will see you in the near future.